Welcome back, everyone, to Scales of Fate.
Hi, everyone.
Will you join us now in our 5th episode? In fact, quite the journey it has been so far. Before we get into that, I would like to make a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you, Hop and Sting, for always being an A1 Day 1 supporter. Thank you, S.L. Dooley, for your contributions and your lovely literature. And thank you, why am I free? Oh, D20 Tavern, I worked there.
I'm wearing your shirt.
Me too.
Represent.
Oh, you did? That's awesome.
We talked about it
Oh,
ahead of time.
you guys
Planned it.
organized it and didn't invite me?
That'd be too many.
I live here. Okay, well, anyways.
Don't ask any more questions then.
Don't ask questions, get answers. Thank you, D20 Tavern, for being a lovely cultural spot in Denton, Texas, off the square. And with that, I'll go ahead into a little bit of a recap. But before I do that, I just remembered, if you guys have been watching the show, if you enjoy the show, if this is something that makes you happy and passes the time and distracts you from real life, as most fantasy escapism games are meant to be, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, smash that bell, and more importantly, talk to your friends about it. If they're into D&D, please share it with them so that they may too join us in our grassroots efforts. And without much further ado, recap. Last time on Scales of Fate,
It was epic. It was epic.
you guys had started your day or session in the Grand Spire Citadel, where you had decided to take up the charge of private investigators for Amara Silverwine. From there, you guys made decisions to visit the tea shop belonging to Thalner and Tyro in order to suss out the information goings on there with the death of Wygraf Silcrest and the tumultuous political situation. However, you did not make it there.
Nope. Still haven't.
You're close.
Well, what happened?
So close.
What had
Where did we
What
go
had
first?
happened?
Nothing happened. Everything's fine.
You guys made a quick... before then, finally wanting to, let's say, acquiesce the request that Stack had to go to the College of Izzet, stopped at a bottle shop.
This was after we met that guy with the
yeah.
illusion spell.
Cassius,
Yeah.
I almost completely forgot.
Ugh.
Prior to leaving the office of Paula, you guys had seen Cassius storm in, a little bit miffed, talking smack, as it were, about Paula and to Amara. But upon leaving and stopping at a bottle shop where you procured a few goods for yourself.
Big old barrel of goods.
Out of rods.
You got a do-si-do barrel. You got you some Immerclear. Everything's fantastic.
Cigars.
What's that?
Cigars.
Cigars, yeah. I almost forgot about the
Full
cigars.
box for half price.
You guys have 2 full boxes of cigars right now.
And I got a
They're not full
stick.
got-
Oh, weird looking stick.
Oh, I didn't know the clipping of the Hellfire Ivy.
Hellfire Ivy.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Everything's
Yeah.
Everything's fine. You guys headed to the College of Izzet, where you more or less found Stack's designation. Stack had told you guys that essentially he was sent here by Malachi to deliver an object that he pulled from inside of himself. Interacting with this object, Xeris, you may have come across some sort of sentient being. And
definitely did.
I definitely did. And Salvo, making a quick identification, gleaned no more that this creature or this item belonged to magical draconic existence However, later on, through a history trick, we found some more information that was not privy to the microphones. At this time, JJ, quite upset about the matter, fled the college visit, running into none other than Theodore Zarius himself and a small platoon, which led into a chase scene. JJ decided to run away, and Theodore chased him.
Naruto went away.
Right, escaping with his.
Oh yeah.
The jacket.
He did not run the whole time like that, everybody.
No, he did not.
No.
But longer than he should have.
Got out of the jacket, arms just stayed there for just a couple seconds.
It's aerodynamic.
Tuna. So from there, you narrowly escaped his catch. I did go back and listen to exactly the chase scene. If it wasn't for the DM de-inspiration, he would have caught you at the very end.
Yeah, I think so.
But you managed to slip past with some cunning and skill. And painting back to the rest of our adventurers, you guys took it upon yourself to escape the Justice of the Peace via the toilet within Malachi's office.
Yep.
After hiding behind the bookshelf.
That was
DM
illusion.
inspiration
amazing.
wins the entire round because that also helped us out.
It did. I do really enjoy the dynamic of inspiration and de-inspiration that's going on here.
Can we? I don't know that we actually explained, like, what that is to our viewers
That's a good point.
last
yeah.
episode. So we agreed as a group that if our DM can grant the players inspiration, as players we can also give our DM inspiration to be used either to re-roll rolls to get better ones for NPCs or possibly worse ones for unfriendly NPCs. And you know, we kind of make suggestions as we do with regular player inspiration as to when that gets used.
Yeah, and long story short, it's done nothing but fall short of making the plot that much more richer.
Yes,
Agreed.
that's the idea, and it's so much fun.
And when he gives us regular inspiration, we can re-roll a die or force a re-roll, right?
Yes.
Correct. We can use our inspiration against the DM as well.
So there you
Yeah.
go.
Which I don't know if a lot of other groups do that, where you can force the DM to re-roll with their own inspiration.
I allow it because narratively it makes sense.
Oh yeah, it's super fun. I just don't know if a lot of people do that. So that's kind of how our inspiration works. So does that mean as the DM, you can force us to re-roll with your inspiration?
That's called de-inspiration.
That's called toxic. Yes, nat 20. Not anymore.
Today.
For what it's worth, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, well,
That's an off-camera discussion. Yeah.
moving forward, you guys.
Forget about that part.
You guys found your way down to the bottom of what appeared to be this river-like channel that flowed through the side of the mountain.
River-like channel. It was a sewer. It was really
It wasn't like a built sewer. It's almost as if like this natural channel of river
okay.
was utilized as such. Indeed, it was utilized similarly as such. You guys decided to hop into this river in order to escape, and in those moments of ricocheting through,
We didn't just hop in the river. We had magic.
I did. Yeah, we did
we
do
surfed. We surfed the river of.
He jumped in the river.
that. I jumped in the river,
We surfed a disc at breakneck speeds behind him.
crashing
weighing just under 500 pounds.
Just a feather.
into cavernous walls that this flow and body of water stretches out through. At the very end of session, you guys were suspended, falling out of the entrance of a cavern that led to a waterfall. And with that, one final point, Jack, you have made it to the Grand Spire Citadel.
Right, he's not there.
Separate from the rest of our group, Jack has made it to the Grand Spire Citadel.
And so we're all falling kind of slowly, except for Stack, who is plummeting.
The way
Oh no,
the,
Stack's on it with us.
We're all-
Yes,
yeah.
Oh,
everyone's
sorry.
on it except for me. The way the spell works, though, is that if you're over a drop that is over 10 feet, which I'm assuming this is over 10 feet.
It's only 5 feet.
Well, technically, the way gravity works, it doesn't care however you are. So,
So, yeah. Basically, that's falling at normal falling speed.
Yep.
You're not floating at all. It's only 3 feet wide, not a lot of air resistance.
We'll see
We're
what happens
following
when we
him.
hit. Yeah.
Yeah, it is following me still. Very fastly.
So, with that, we're actually going to pick up at our group that is currently falling through the air.
Oh, man. Do we know how far we're falling?
So, I would like all of you to make an active perception check as one would when suddenly assaulted with the light of day.
Checks out.
Oh.
I'm probably
Aw.
trying only to hang 10.
Your style and performance check for Roscoe.
Okay.
It's an 18 for hanging 10.
Oh my gosh.
hung 18.
That is. All right, we're gonna save that for last. You know what I mean?
That's a 13, even with my disadvantage.
13 for Thalner.
Taylor Swifted it, 22.
Oh, okay.
Should I get that? Is that good that I don't?
I don't get it either,
Okay, good.
but I think I get it.
About you feeling 22.
I'm
No.
glad-
Oh, is that a song?
I got you.
I'm
Thank
glad
you.
I don't get it.
Damn it.
So,
That was a parody.
can I,
Yeah, sing it off
instead of perception by chance, use Arcana to magically...
Perceive.
Yeah,
What?
I got a 9. I got a 9.
A 9 is what you got.
I got a 9. Perception, yeah.
All right, and then Salvo with a 22, Xeris with a 9, Thalner with a 13, Roscoe with an 18 performance. Woo! Let's start with I said best for last. I didn't say best, but I said last. Roscoe, please describe your hang 10. This is pretty sick.
Does Stack need to roll?
Oof.
Isn't Stack laying down like underneath us?
This is
Probably.
perception for Stack, -2. He got a 5.
He sees the floor.
I see the air.
So while everyone else is checking out what's going on, I go to the very front, shoeless.
I mean, you guys are falling.
You're always at the very front.
Yeah, hang all 10 toes off the front, tips it just a little bit forward so that we're kind of actually riding the waterfall, going, woo! and taking a big swig.
Oh man, that's actually pretty sweet. Like the tail end of it is like dragging in the waterfall. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, looks sick. Xeris, in the meantime, this behavior is very distracting for you.
And I'll drop my concentration.
You turn around and like hope that your friends are okay as you realize that you're falling, and you see Roscoe just hanging 10 with the other ones in the back, like. Thalner.
You actually?
The thing is, it would be like flipping right now.
Why would it be flipping?
It remains level.
Yeah, there's a lot of weight. There's counterweight.
I'll allow it.
I said no if you actually wanted to drop
No,
concentration.
no.
And actually, when you consider the wind resistance the buddies would provide, it would create a tailing end.
All right, I'm gonna go into my narrative description. So
How do we
It is
die?
13.
You see below you that immediately your first instinct is, what are we falling to? Where are we going? And you see below you a large lagoon-like carving out of the mountain where water is pooling and then continuing to spill over the side to another waterfall. And still with the 13, you see briskly on the other side of that waterfall what appears to be a forest edge and a river that continues down in a southwesterly direction. With a 22 salvo, you see, as I have mentioned to Thalner. However, over on the horizon, you see the woods stretch out for miles and miles and miles until it gets to a part that seems like a dimmer verdant green than the woods itself. Looking further, you see a lot of dead trees, a haziness enveloping a large area, and as far as the horizon goes, it fades out into a dull gray. It almost seems like that green from that flatter zone is spreading further into the forest. You recognize this to be the marshes that are encroaching on the nearby forest. And further, you see below where that pool of water is, it is entirely possible for you and anyone else falling to survive this drop.
Oh, good.
One quick note also.
Don't do it.
Technically,
I don't like that.
since it can't cross a gap that's more than 10 feet, it would have stopped. And when I fell a certain distance, it would have dropped itself. So the hang time might have been happening during the surf.
How Tensor's floating disc works is it goes to the lowest elevation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it says it can't cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more.
So then it drops.
Yeah, so it's not crossing. It's just.
Yeah, but it also, as soon as I get, how far away? If I move more than 100 feet away from the disc, it spell ends.
I don't think you are going to move up more than 100 feet because we're right behind you.
You're...
Let's go ahead and say this.
Sure.
Does the disc drop or not?
It says it drops.
Okay, so as soon as Salvo, you take note of all of this, and then you look back down into those, you can see that this pool of water is very deep, but there are jagged rocks spiking up from the edges of it. You look down, and that disc disappears as Xerus himself is falling further and further and further. As we're falling, you guys have roughly about 10 seconds before you hit this pool of water. What are you doing in this time?
I'm assuming diving position.
Okay. Like hands in front of you, head down towards the water?
Yeah, I'm going to try to skirt the bottom. I have no clue how deep this water is. but-
Okay.
I thankfully barely get the cork back in my flask, so it is nice and secure
You do lose like about a half ounce of liquor.
into my gullet.
No, like in the air. It's sprayed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Call it collateral alcohol.
Yeah, collateral.
Collateral. Oh no.
What?
Okay. So, but what are you? So you're putting your flask back together, making sure that you have all your gear.
Yeah,
and
I
equipment.
feel like
Protect the booze.
I'm so contained in all of this. I don't really have a chance to do anything but that.
Okay.
I try to ride Stack down.
Okay. Noted.
He survives a lot of falls, so I'm like, I will stay on him as best I can.
Okay. Noted. Thauner, what are you doing in this moment as you're falling?
Kind of cannonball position. Mostly to like pull all of my things out of my pockets and like bring them in close, like that weird vine that I got, and like my stuff, so it doesn't disperse in the water when I hit, and kind of feet first cannonball.
Okay. So, as you guys are all falling, just spray of water creating this rainbow-esque
Gorgeous.
mirage over the two suns in the sky. Xerus, I need an athletics check. Thauner, I need a constitution check. Constitution saving throw to be certain. Roscoe, you will also be doing a constitution saving throw. And Salvo, you're doing an athletics check at advantage, riding Stack.
Okay.
Could it be acrobatics for the dive?
I will allow it, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Same for Salvo, if you would prefer.
It don't
acrobatics.
matter. It's a nat one.
Got advantage.
Never seen diving before.
Okay, Xerus, nat 1. Thauner.
Yes, that's a 3 total.
3 total.
14.
14 for the con save.
16 for my con save.
16 for the con save.
14 on acrobatics.
14 on acrobatics. Okay.
That's the sound of a new character.
Waterfall takes you out. You weren't that powerful. What I mean by that is you're fine, because you are.
I'd like to
All right.
posit it's not just a waterfall, it's a toilet waterfall.
He expressly said it was only, partially toilet.
And I cleaned everything leading up to it, so.
Well,
Fair.
that toilet, there's probably a whole city of toilets above us.
Only looked like there was one way to go. It was a private toilet waterfall.
Xerus,
Yes.
you take 10 bludgeoning damage, slapping head first into the water, and as the shock of the cold and the water itself starts to invade your lungs. You get a little bit disoriented, but you climb your way back up to the top and breathe in deeply.
He's a wizard. Is he dead?
Thauner,
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
you take 5 bludgeoning damage. Roscoe, you take 5 bludgeoning damage. Woo! And Salvo, one more time, what was your roll?
14.
14. You take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Riding stack?
Riding stack. You do still take that damage.
Smack your head in the
And
stack.
as you guys all, Xeris first, and then Thauner, and then Roscoe, and then Stack, with Salvo just kind of riding on the back of. Salvo, you notice that Stack is pulling you closer towards the bottom of this pool-like pit.
Okay.
Do you let go, or are you hanging on?
I'll hang on.
So as you hang on, you see that Stack essentially just like gently floats, and his feet kind of rest at the bottom, and he like looks up to you on his back, and you hear, "Are we drinking again?"
Can I roll a insight to understand that?
Yeah, sure.
I cast comprehend languages.
Yeah, right. That's a 13.
He said, "Are we drinking again?"
That's what I thought too.
Perfect. I just go, no, we're swimming.
Okay. And he just starts walking on the bottom of the floor of this. And
I stay held.
you're still hanging on. You essentially like are holding your breath at this rate. The other.
I'm not. I'm breathing.
That's right. You're Vidalkin.
Oh,
You're
they breathe
totally fine.
underwater?
I was about to make you do a Constitution
For up to
saving
1 hour.
throw.
What the heck?
Nice.
She can breathe underwater.
So Roscoe's character does not know this at all.
Okay.
I'm actually, so more specifically, I'm not stressing. I'm breathing. I'm slightly injured, obviously, but I'm going to look around to see if anyone else is struggling under the water.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Nice. 21.
Flailing purple.
To your best knowledge, Xeris almost looks like he can't swim.
It's gonna be my
Okay.
bang.
He's struggling above the water, where Roscoe and Thauner have like gotten their feet and are starting to move towards an edge.
Do I see a upward sloping edge?
Yes.
I point Stack that way.
Okay.
And then I swim up to try to lift Xeris as best I can.
Okay. Yeah, you get essentially moving Stack. You're just holding on to him, and he just kind of the rocks crumbling underneath his feet, dust picking up. He moves up towards Xeris. You do get into a range where you can kind of steady him.
Perfect. Well, then I swim up and like wave up at him, and I'm like doing this underwater like.
You feel your
Yep,
legs
yep.
have like a pressure, and you look below, and you kind of see visions of a green-eyed rock and a heavily armored Salvo right beneath you.
mediumly armored.
Medium.
I don't know how to swim.
Oh no.
And I just do a thumbs up.
Okay. So
Thumbs up back.
real quick, just so you guys know, passive perception. You guys see that this pool just leads to jagged mountainous edges, and there is yet another waterfall to the southwest from here.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, no. We're leaving.
Are we up out of the water?
You guys are all
Okay.
technically with you holding Xeris, like you essentially move him over to a place where he can like latch on and hold on to, and then Stack pushes you up slowly above the water. He's still underwater.
That's fine.
Quick note: without the goof, I do know how to swim.
Just not right
But
then.
I am injured and I'm struggling to swim.
Gotcha.
Correction.
Yeah, you can see
I can't
Xeris.
swim now.
Xeris, to a point, has a bit of shock on his face. Like he's not fully registering where he's at. The hit, you can see a big red welt across his face where like his face had slammed into the water.
White hair just all like blocking my vision.
It hurts so bad.
So, to be clear, this is still the same day we had the combat in the garden.
Yes.
Met Paula. Okay, so it's got to
It's
be
rough.
later in the day, right?
It's about 5 p.m. right now.
okay.
And
So
we
it's
haven't
still bright.
regained any health.
No, yeah, we're dragging. All right. So we're all on the bank now.
It's not a bank. You guys are holding on to rocks. Like imagine a mountainside with a waterfall spilling off of it, and lower there is a collection, a pooling of where that water is leading to that creates another waterfall.
Oh.
Within that pool, all around the edges are just more mountainous, rocky sides.
Then we're in a tarn.
Yes.
An
If that is the
infinity pool.
official word, it's a tarn.
It's a collection of water on a mountainside.
Perfect. Salvo can have inspiration if you don't already.
I do not. I think
on,
we all
comment,
used it.
someone
I
tell
do
me
have
it's
it.
wrong.
Never
Okay.
mind.
I do have it too. I didn't realize that during the natural one.
Got a lot of inspiration.
I
Yeah,
like
I'm taking
inspiration.
It's almost as if our DM wants
Oh.
us to survive.
Can I have inspiration?
I have some from before. I need to remember.
What?
I don't know. It's marked from last time.
What does it say?
Inspiration.
Then you have it.
Nailed it.
But in this moment, what are you guys doing? As you still feel like the rush of water peeling past you guys.
How deep is the water?
You would have to like put your head underwater to get a good perceptive look.
I put my head underwater to get a good perceptive look.
You do that. Your passive perception of 12, not perfect, but pretty good. It looks roughly about 20 feet deep. Give me an active perception check, however.
Sure. 15.
Okay. With a 15, you sense that there is a small sconce that is almost carved out of the rock behind the waterfall. And you also notice that there is what appears to be a round, like you had seen Roscoe binding rope together to make ringlets. You see on the far side towards the other waterfall that leads further down the mountain that there is a rope hanging off one edge that looks exactly like that.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I fully followed that. There's a rope that's already attached somewhere
Somewhere, yes.
nearby that I can see.
Towards the other waterfall. So over here behind the waterfall, there seems to be empty carved out space behind this waterfall
Okay.
that you can't fully see through. You're looking underwater, but you can see that there actually is like some negative space there. And then towards the other waterfall, lingering out towards the other side where you had seen the woods, there is a actual man-made rope hanging off one edge in the pool of water before you get to the waterfall.
Okay. Is that accessible? I don't know if I'm fully following that.
Yes,
Okay.
it is accessible.
So I let everyone know that. There's some rope over there. Let's...
Oh man,
Make
yeah,
our
I
way.
must have dropped that in the epicness.
Is it Roscoe's rope?
Is it Roscoe's rope?
Yeah.
No, it definitely is not. Color like
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
it looks old and slightly withered from the water that's been rushing past there. Like it's been there for a while.
Gotcha. There's some rope over here. We can probably make our way to solid ground. With some
Alright.
help. I look at Salvo. Maybe?
Certainly.
So, as Roscoe hits the water, you can tell he is an expert swimmer. I mean, he is beelining it for the shore like no problem.
Sure.
At the
Dolphin
same
style.
time, you can tell he's freaking out. Expert swimmer, but went from like yeehaw to in the water to freaking out and trying to get out as fucking fast as he can. He gets to that shore, he pulls himself up and just, oh fuck.
No longer the sense of the adventure, more something anxiety-inducing.
So safe to say Roscoe gets there first with that expert swimming.
Sure.
I think Roscoe's
Are you heading
gonna
for the rope,
stay in
Roscoe?
water.
No, I beeline it to the shore immediately. I mean,
Yeah.
There is no.
That's how we
Sure.
get to solid ground.
Oh,
Is
okay.
through that rope.
There are rocks you can grab.
well,
onto.
I go to a rock first.
Yeah. So you guys all look over, and Roscoe is like panicked. There is a panic look in his eye.
Okay. Is the rock he's trying to get on near the rope?
It's close enough to him to get to.
Okay. Well, we all head in the general direction, safe to say? Yes.
Heading for
This
the
rope
rope.
goes up.
It goes up and over a lip away
so-
from the waterfall.
Okay.
And essentially, if you were to climb it, you would see yourself standing on a craggy ledge.
Is the water rushing pretty fast still, or is it kind of a little cooler?
Where it's pooling from, no, it rushes faster towards the lip or the mouth of this waterfall on the other side.
Nice.
Objective is wherever the nearest shore would be after said rocks.
Okay, so as you've said we'll move over to the rope. Zero, so you get over there a little bit first, kind of guiding Salvo and like pointing underwater. Stack's just like kind of moving, and Salvo is like kind of got you in her arms and pulling you guys all together. You get over to the rope and you pull up to the top, like no check needed. You get yourself out of the water and up on the edge of this mountain, and you see a beautiful splaying forest in front of you. And down below where the other waterfall is dropping into, it's about a 20-foot drop into a large river mouth that just is heavily flowing throughout this river. Some birds are flying around. You see crisp folds of heat wafting from the areas that fog are protruding into, and essentially that's where you stand. Other than climbing a mountainside, the rope itself descends in front of you and rings down to a dry bank on the side of the river in front of you.
From this vantage point, is there... I want to know how to get back into the city. I don't know if I know that, or can see that from here, but I know that Jack is still in the city.
You look back standing where you are, and you look up, you think you see a curvature of the paling, but very far above you. Hundreds of feet above you.
I fly up there. No, I'm just kidding. But there's, like, the main entrance of the city. Like,
you don't see it anywhere around here.
Entrance?
Be far.
Is there not an entrance to the city?
He says, as the rest of you kind of swim up to that side, pull yourselves up on the rope, and you're all standing on this ledge together.
And I tell him, there is.
Yeah, there's an entrance.
I don't know.
What was the question?
Is there a city?
He tells them
is there an
about
entrance to
the
the city?
layout of the city, basically.
Because I do know the city, I just don't. I don't
okay.
know the city.
In this case, give me a history check, Salvo.
Okay. The place I grew up and lived.
I would give you advantage, but this is wilderness.
How did I get back into the city?
Yeah, right.
I just did it yesterday.
Advantage.
He said I would give you advantage, but this is the wilderness.
No, I
I think they're just asking, are
Not
there
advantage.
entrances
Is there an entrance to the city?
That
from
you
the-
guys see?
No, that he
No.
would know about.
That
At
you
all.
would know about? Absolutely.
Well, no one gets in there. It's
Yeah.
closed
Yeah,
off.
like, are we at the back side and there's, like, an entrance on the opposite side of the city and we have to go loop around? I mean,
Sure.
Xerus is thinking we need to get back because who knows what the heck Jack is going to
Yes,
Sure.
there are
So-
entrances, and
And
as
I
far as is there an
communicated
entrance
that.
nearby, I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10. You know that you are on the southeastern face of the mountainside that Drakehaven rests on. Where the entrance is from you, you're not certain. You only see a small crescent-shaped curving of the paling far above you in the mountains. You are uncertain of where the entrance is located from your current position.
Gotcha. That is fair.
Well, it looks like this rope leads down to some
Hey,
solid ground, solid
yo.
dry ground, which sounds nice right about
Mr.
now.
Magic Man, can you like send him a message or something? You guys are pretty tight.
It's been a long day, and even with a proper amount of rest, I don't know if that's something that is in my capacity or spell book.
All right.
He
So to
bought the
speak.
cheap book.
Maybe
So-
I'll find one of those homing pigeons people
Hey.
talk about.
It's a fine book. It does the job well.
Is
Kind of torn.
Is it wet?
So as the five of you are standing on the crest of this mountainside, talking amongst yourselves about your geographical location, where best to enter next,
The wetness
we
of my
will
book.
pan back to JJ. Jack,
Hello.
you have just made it essentially through the main gates of the Grand Spire Citadel, and you are still trucking it, barreling through. Doors open in front of you, and as they open, you see Cassius and a small dwarven man in tow, essentially walking forward, book in hand. They see you running, and they kind of get this weird look on their face, and he goes, Excuse me.
I take mental note of whoever the other person is working with because he doesn't look familiar, maybe, and then I'm just like, I don't have time for you.
You just barrel past them?
Yeah.
Okay. Just kind of pushing past them, almost comically so, as they kind of move off to one side. You dive your way into the Grand Spire Citadel. You're in the main hall that curves around left and right. What do you do here? The receptionist essentially, can I help you?
Yeah, I come barging in and let out a couple of dry coughs as it's like finally catching up to me. The adrenaline is catching up, and I'm like trying to push my hair back. That was all over my face. Paula, and where is Paula?
She's indisposed at the moment. Can I take a message, dear?
No, this is a state of emergency. It pertains dragons and the sort, and yeah.
Oh,
No.
give me a persuasion check at
He
advantage.
used the D word.
Persuasion?
At advantage.
Oh wait, what am I doing? I can't even see that one.
You're gonna roll physical dice.
Well, that's in that one.
I'll roll the other one.
Oh, no,
In the box.
that's a 3.
Oh,
So total 3?
I give him inspiration.
Can you share inspiration?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can give it to anybody. You can impose de-inspiration on
There we
you.
go. 17. Nice. Thank you.
No problem.
17? Okay.
No problem, Jack. Got your back, Jack.
Xerxes' inspiration is gone. Jack, 17. She goes, dragons, you say? Oh, okay. Paula is, she's away interrogating prisoners right now. She can't rightly have a meeting quite yet.
Where?
In the hold on, just a moment, please. Boop. Paula, there seems to be a certain, what was your name?
Jack Jacobs.
Jack Jacobs for you. He says that there's a matter of urgency requiring your attention for draconic present. And you hear before she finishes the sentence, please send him to the holding ward. She kind of, there's no other response. There's a little bit of crackling. She lets go of the crystal on the table and says, I'll escort you. Gets up out of her chair, kind of drops down a couple feet, walks around the counter, and then moves over into the elevator and beckons you in.
I'm right behind her.
Right on her tails.
I'm wishing she walked a little bit faster.
She gets in there, essentially waves her hand over the panel, and you actually sense before, when you were going up to Paula's office, it was above. This one is going below. Goes lower into the mountain. And as it gets darker and darker, there's a few bands of light that pass through the entrance of this crystal on the opposite side, and the platform opens, and you walk out, and it is dark down here, and you see no one except people wearing Eldritch Knight regalia. As you walk up, a very tall, slender half-orc man, kind of with a twist of different earrings that form chains around each other as if he genuinely enjoys that aesthetic, turns around and says, Jack, looking for Paula, right?
That is correct.
All right, right this way. He turns around, kind of leads you around. You twist and turn through a lot of different hallways and pockmarked catacombs. Not different from the different crystals that you had seen that form the Grand Spire Citadel on the outside. And eventually you make it down to a very dark hallway. You kind of hear her before you see her, even with your great perception. Des, that would be all, please. And you see the half-orc kind of stand at attention and then turn around. And walking up out of the shadows, you see Paula with her bright golden eyes and dark skin seeing you. Jack, I was just in the middle of something.
Yeah, I know you're in the middle of all that important stuff we were wrapping up earlier. Can I talk to you for a second? As I try and hook one of her arms and try to get out of earshot out of any prying eyes. I don't know any of these Eldritch Knights or anything, so.
Heard. She resists for a second, and as you kind of look around, you see that there aren't any knights around. The one that you had talked to prior had turned a corner and moved past, and essentially to your right, you just see a prison cell with a shadow kind of in the corner of it. And she says, "You can speak to me here. Those here are not ones to be worried about as far as information goes. But
Okay, yeah, great.
if this is urgent, please tell me."
Yeah, very, very much so.
I can tell by the look on your face. So out with it, Jack.
Well, you see,
What happened was,
and then I tell her, let me try. So we were taking Stack back to the Izzet, and there's this thing inside his body, and then there's like a dragon orb, trademark. Sorry.
Last time on.
And it's trying to talk to us. It's a freaking green dragon. It's inside the freaking trailer, and the peace guards are. I'm not done.
I'm still listening, but
Uh-huh.
slow it down. You took Stack to the Izzet,
Yeah.
and there was a ball or an orb,
Yep.
and there's a green dragon inside of it?
Something like that. It talked to the skinny one and Slim. Yeah. It tried to control his mind or something.
And as she kind of hesitates to respond, in the cell directly next to the two of you, you see a stirring. And a large shadow stands up and begins walking over to the humming of the faceplate of this cell. And you see, with red braids tied behind his head, bright green eyes glowing in the darkness, wearing a simple tunic wrapped across his chest. It's confusing at first as you see the chest of this figure. It's almost glowing a little bit green, and looking a little bit farther down, his feet are draconic in nature. He kind of leans his arm up on the side of the cell, not touching the face of it. Taylor, would you like to introduce your character?
Hey.
Yeah!
I'm so happy to be here.
It's Taylor!
All right, let me get this thing on
I
here.
hope the M2 chair was confusing.
All right, so you want me to do just a character description?
Yeah. Give us a character description.
Okay, so stern-looking, large, humanoid with draconic features, like you mentioned. His clothes are very simple and look like they could have been passed down. He's very quiet. He's been silent during this whole time, he's got a strong presence about him, but he's just very to himself. Looks like he's probably been through a lot. Looks, mid 40s to late 30s, kind of looking in age. You're not sure. Either he's on the younger side and he's just been through hard physical labor, or he's, in his 40s.
So as he leans forward and you hear this conversation, Paula kind of tilts her head looking at you, and Jack follows her gaze and sees you standing there.
Did you say green dragon?
I look at Paula, I guess, almost for affirmation or something like that, and it's just, yes.
I know where I'm at isn't a good sign for you, but
Just a little bit.
I just have to let you know that it's my destiny to hunt and kill these dragons. And this city, this town is not safe and I shouldn't be in this cell right now. And you need my help. It's my destiny. Please, let me out of this cell, and I will help you.
Are you saying this?
I'm saying this out loud to both of you.
To both of you.
Paula just looks back over at you.
I'm gonna just insight check.
Sure.
As I'm waiting, they're kind of silent. I look to Paul and I say, I will let you ask me any questions. I'm not running away. Just let me go with him. He can make sure that I stay in contact with you, and I will answer any questions you have for me.
What'd you get on your insight? 24? Mm-hmm. You see a magnanimous sense of resolve when he says, it is my destiny to find and kill dragons.
Some weight to it.
There's a massive weight to it. There is the only sense of ill that you might glean is that he simply doesn't know the capacity of the words he is saying. And regardless of that, he is still hell-bent on making sure that his destiny comes to heal.
I take a moment to kind of once over his figure a little bit more, like gleaning a little more of the details and seeing the resolve in his words. And I just kind of muttered to him a little bit. Have they wronged you, boy, son? Sorry, not to be.
I take a second.
These dragons, they've wronged
Is there a
you,
window? Or there's not. I'm in the basement,
There's
right?
not.
I just kind of look down for a second and look back up, and I shoot a psychic vision of a memory of basically you see this blue dragon just destroying a town as, from my point of view, I'm running up to this village, and you see this dragon destroy, and you see me walking in just searching, and then the vision cuts out.
This prisoner was here as a defect, or one that has gone AWOL from the Drakehaven's army.
Ugh. I scoff out loud.
And no offense to you, sir, but you did attack some of the mages when you entered the Grand Spire.
I didn't believe them. They were not helping me. They wouldn't listen to me. I care about this city, and information that I have heard, I am very nervous, and frankly, I left the army because I don't trust them. They're terrible. I don't trust the cops here. I don't trust anyone. So the man who was speaking very rude to me, I freaked out. I'm sorry. I have a temper.
And you had said that was Cassius, correct?
Cassius, I was.
I forgot his name in the rage, but I don't like that. I don't like that person.
I already like this guy.
Well, you don't need a persuasion check for Jack, but you need a persuasion check for Paula. I will allow this at advantage.
It's like, he's kind of a prick. Yep. Yep.
What do I modify? So, by the way, stream, I am a relatively new newbie D&D player, so I'll be asking over the table questions. So if you guys are new, hopefully that helps you out as well. So, awesome. So is there any modifier that I check for that?
Persuasion is going to have its own skill check.
Okay,
you'll
so
see
-1.
Okay.
It's at advantage.
Okay, so
At advantage. Go again. Oh.
I got an 11.
11.
That's
Could be weird. Above average.
Double digits.
Above average.
She kind of slowly, with her eyes still in contact with yours, twists her head over to Jack and she says,
Right before she says anything, I psychically vision to her a dying dragon magically forcing something into somebody, into, I guess you would know it's into my being, and seeing that exchange happen, and then it cuts out very quick.
And as he does that, her eyes are about to cut from his and look over at yours, and in between, right before she looks at yours, you see this emerald green vision before her eyes, almost animated smoke wafting in front of her cornea, and she like stops and turns back over to you.
I can give you much more information.
This kind of information was what we were asking for from the beginning, Leon.
I only give information when it gets me closer to killing dragons. He came in here talking about dragons.
Didn't ask the right questions, I guess. The enemy of my enemy, I mean, he's got a point. I mean,
Paula just kind of sighs a little bit and says, since he's heard it anyway, let's reiterate. Your friends have found what appears to be a dragon orb and are where now? Exactly?
well, I told him to stay right there in the Grand Mason's office.
Malachi's office?
Yeah, that one.
You see her kind of like take a step back. She puts a couple of fingers towards the side of her ear.
It's
And
kind of important. The Peace Corps are like right there. They're about to get him.
Whispering some words, and she looks back over to you and she's like, looks at you, then looks at Leon and says, if you'll have him out for your quest, that's entirely your prerogative, as Amara has made you a special task force. I don't completely trust the matter, but I do have a lot of questions, and you did offer to answer them if I let you out, correct?
Absolutely. I just want to take down dragons that are trying to destroy humanity.
She looks at Jack
Sound
again.
argument.
I mean, what's not to like?
Box on is solid.
Her face is very stern, and then after you like kind of give that shoulder shrug and that one-liner, she stifles a giggle and says, all right, raises her left hand, snaps, the door in front of your cell disappears.
And I
Kill everyone.
walk up to Jax and I hold out my arm.
Predator handshake. Roll for predator handshake, please.
Sleight of hand.
No, just a
I
flat
got an
D20.
18.
Flat D20.
Woo!
18.
That's nice.
That's a 10.
That's,
So Leon
you
goes
feel
in for
weak.
this predator head shake, and as he clasps your hand, you feel it, the tendons and your bones grinding against each other. It's just the sheer strength of it crushing your hand.
And I just look at him and
Yeah. Strong.
And as Paula looks this over, she says, well, considering your friends are in trouble, let us go ask our diviners and see where they're at.
Please.
And from there, we're going to take an early break. Early break. Over the course of this break, we will still have the video on, not the audio. Please feel free to give us some comments because we will interact with you now that we have our hands free. And also in the meantime, please invite your friends to watch the rest of the stream because it's about to get juicy.
Spicy.
we can start at the beginning.
They could start at the beginning and then
You
catch up
wanna-
later.
If you want to hang out and chat with us outside the stream, there's a lovely Discord server that we're all part of.
And the link is now in chat.
Yes, Brian has
this
been working
episode.
really hard on that Discord server, so please come and join and hang out with
Share
us.
the memes.
Post pictures of your pets.
Yes.
Do the doodles.
Did it not stay this time?
I love pets.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's in the
guys.
chat.
Snapchat?
It's in
The
the chat.
YouTube chat.
We don't have a
From-
Snapchat.
We do not have a Snapchat.
Scales of
No?
Fate Snapchat?
Just the Discord.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. If they've got a dragon filter, all day.
Oh, yeah. Eh. All right. Well, love you guys. See you in about 15.
See you in 15.
Welcome back. That was our break. Did everybody have a good time on break?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Too good.
Oh, no.
Oh no?
we're good.
Everything's
Okay.
fine.
We're fine.
So,
The mics are on.
We're good. Yep.
we find ourselves still conversing with Paula, JJ, and this new entity person on stringing, Leon. Leon, you have just been freed from your cell, and as you walk out,
Can I add, when we did the handshake, I said, I'm Leon. Introduce myself, please.
Nice to meet you. JJ. You can just call me J. Yeah.
I'll follow your lead.
Okay. I'm like a little uncomfortable with the suddenness and me being in charge of this person.
Paula looks over.
This is what I trained you for. Just kidding.
So I believe we were in the middle of trying to find where your friends were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll tell my captains to worry about the interrogations further. For now, let us go. She leads you out of the holding cells back to the elevator, getting onto the elevator, rushing past the lobby floor, and then as you exit, moving a couple tunnels down, you're in Paula's office. Leon, for the first time, you're seeing the inside of the Grand Spire Citadel, and it is beautiful in its own right. Like the elevator itself having a clear outer shell, as it moves up, you see that it's just perfectly perched over the city to where it can see everything below it. And as you get into Paula's office, Paula essentially, like, this entire time has been sending multiple messages. You can tell because she puts her fingers to the side of her face and starts whispering to multiple people. And as you get to her office, she waves a hand. The window opens up a little bit further, and she says to you two, she goes, "Okay, so I have, at this current moment, an extraction in place. They are on the lower side of the mountainous shelf that's actually nearby to the swamp."
I'm sorry, what? They're outside?
Yes.
What the hell?
Long story short,
I gave him one direction.
Well,
One job. All right. Well, okay. Continue.
I hate to worry you, but they're not only just outside, they are on the border of the marshlands that have been encroaching further into the city.
God. I don't want to slam it that hard.
At least there's
Jack
not one
slams
person
his
you can
fist.
blame for this. I'm sure he has no clue.
She says to Jack and Leon, I have arrangements for an extraction to bring them back up to the city. However, due to our current circumstances with the Justice of the Peace and the Drakehaven, I would like the two of you...
Same.
I would like the two of you to meet them at the collection point just outside of the city, if that's okay.
Outside the city doesn't scare me.
That's lovely. I like it in here. I don't have a problem with the outside. It's just uncomfortable. Getting old. You know how it goes. We're meeting with who? Out where?
JJ, I am about to send a message to your friends. What would you like for me to say? And to whom should I address specifically?
Oh, God. the blue one.
The Videlkin, I believe.
Yeah.
Salvo Ma? Okay.
That's her.
And is there anything specific that you would like for me to say? Obviously, I'm going to give them the location of the pickup point. But
Oh, man. Just to please go with whoever you're sending, because they need to get out of that marsh like yesterday.
and as she outreaches her hand to the side of your face, Salvo, you get a little glimpse of magic just permeating through your mind, and you hear a echoing, reverbing voice. Salvo Ma! This is Paula Sorella. We understand you are outside of the city. We have an extraction point. Please descend the mountain, head due west. Look for a tree.
So many trees.
The message ends, there's a lot of trees. The message ends, you may respond with 25 words or less.
do I respond verbally or in my mind?
Yes. So either way.
Real quickly, it was descend the mountain, head due west, look for a tree.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have any words again?
25 or less. As she counts on her hand.
Copy. Descending mountain, heading west, looking for tree. All party intact. Safe. Will rest before extraction point.
Okay. She essentially looks back over to Jack. She says, I believe that Salvo has gotten the message. I unfortunately must stay here, and Amara is currently in council, so
That makes sense.
I need to leave the two of you to your devices. And as she says that, you can kind of see that she gives a sidelong glance at Leon.
Everything all right?
I just let a prisoner out of...
It'll be fine.
No offense, Leon.
It's fine.
I got it. It's fine. You didn't get my message earlier?
I did, however, for means that should not be discussed currently, I did not respond.
All right, just checking. Left me.
If it makes you feel better, there are a ton of confused Eldritch Knights that are currently leaving the College of Izzet.
Okay. Where are we supposed to be? Or someone's taking us to, or escorting us basically to the extraction point.
If you need escort, I can send Weatherly with you. You're looking for the South Gate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. I just wasn't sure if it was...
Just meet them at the quarry near the South Gate. Hopefully that'll be a conspicuous enough location.
All right, big guy.
Let's go.
Okay.
Are Eldritch Knights the same as the Justice of the Peace?
They are not.
Just as the piece is like the Drakehaven police, and then Eldritch Knights belong specifically to the Grand Spire.
Got you. So did you mean Justice of the Peace? Were you referring to the people who were looking for us before?
Oh, I did mean to say Justice.
Okay, just was double checking.
Because that's whom Jack had said.
Got you.
Yeah. Okay.
So are we walking together right now?
It's up to you guys. You could.
You've been released into his custody.
Essentially, yes. And Jack knows the city pretty well. You do know that if you were to make it to the South Gate with expedience, that you would hit up one of the taxi carriages.
That fine young man Theo is after my tail. So I wasn't here, first of all, clearly. And basically I'm trying to inquire, like, is there a way we can get there out, like, smoothly?
Oh yeah, and I also chime in. I say, and also kind of forgot to mention that, Drakehand Army wants me for
Yeah, we're both kind of fugitives,
by the way.
allegedly.
leaving.
Give me but a moment.
Sure.
She leaves the office. You guys are there for about 10, 15 minutes without her there. Is there any discussion going on between you during this time?
Yeah, so I kind of go. So Salvo, I know a Salvo. Is she an artificer?
I try to think back if that's the word that she used at the bar, or the tavern. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I wonder if it's the one I know.
You know her?
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to do a lot of trading with her, and yeah, she might not remember me though, or recognize me, but interesting.
I pause for a moment, like trying to distance from the Bloop character and then over to the vision that you shared me. So, Blue Dragon? green.
I figure any dragon will lead me closer to finding that one, but
Give me an insight check.
so do I add or minus anything?
It's the insight.
Oh, I got
skill.
it. Yep. 16.
Okay. You can tell I'm referencing. So you got a chip on your shoulder with the green dragon,
Blue dragon.
or with the blue dragon. I also
Have a
have a
chip.
thing for green dragons. Like, same. Like, that's what.
Relating through trauma.
Yeah. I'm trying to make this as less awkward as possible, but failing and making it completely awkward. Like filling the space.
So, dragons. They suck. Yep.
So Drakehaven.
I was with them for like 2 weeks. I just got in town, wanted to find a way to fight dragons, and they were just having me do grunt work. I couldn't see a future there, and honestly, the longer I stayed, the more I realized how wrong their objectives and morals were.
That sounds about right. This is recently.
Oh yeah, I got into the city about 2 weeks and 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's my first time in the city, actually.
Well, how long were you with them? I guess.
2 weeks.
Oh,
I got in and joined,
and then left.
and ran away after 2 weeks.
Yeah, that new councilman's doing all sorts of.
So, there's a reason why I came to this place to ask questions. I was in my barracks, and we share a common quarters within the city with Justice of the Peace, and 2 soldiers were talking, and they said something about a dragon being in the city. They said it was rumors, but then I heard the story about your orb, and I don't know if it's true or not, but
Yeah, you could tell I was super casual, nonchalant before, but now I'm very, very concerned because that matches up with kind of what Zira said, but I didn't really believe it at the time.
I don't know if it's true. I just wanted to talk to them, and that idiot didn't want to even give me any face value. He just wanted to kick me out, so I freaked out.
They were kind of bricks. Was I also Drakehaven or Drake? Yeah.
Drakehand, yes.
Okay. So yeah.
So, as you
Confirmed, I
guys,
say nothing.
JJ goes into
Yes, and?
a slight silent reverie at this conversation. You hear the doors open up once more, and Paula has escorted what appears to be a small gnome woman. Pink hair. The tips of her hair are tufted with pink, feathered out, and she wears like simple light pink robes with a baby blue inner robe, and she walks in and says, "Hi, you 2 are the ones that were trying to hide, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, calm down. You're all right.
I'm sorry. I did. Paula informed me of the information, and I don't normally deal with for firsthand. It doesn't matter. What would you like to look like?
Just regular people, I guess. Or what can you do?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't.
All right, calm down. Calm down. You're all right. Just
Animal
whatever.
handling check. Just kidding.
Yes, someone rolled for an NPC and rolled low.
You look at her, and she has the symbol of the illusionist on her robe, but just seems very timid.
Whatever's easy for you. Just make us blend in. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Creatures, regular citizens.
She kind of like leans her hands forward. They're kind of like sandwiched together, and she like snaps, unfurling her fingers out, and the 2 of you. You look like a fish salesman, Jack.
Does it smell like one?
And
What is it? Like an apron, like covered in guts?
Well,
Like-
no, yeah, precisely. Also with a basket that is full of fish, though you're not actually holding that. Leon, she looks at you, and you look like a very tall orc that is essentially a lumberjack. You've got plaid sleeves that kind of bow up into a overall type outfit. A bundle of wood just like strapped behind your back where your backpack was, and just leathered brown skin. Looks like you two look like just two regular merchants walking down the trade street. Is that good? Should I make any adjustments?
You're good. Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Paula. Can I go? And Paula like turns over. Yes, Susan, you may go.
Ask her.
Susan, he just said it.
And Susan essentially like backs up a few steps, blinks twice, and then quickly hurries out of the room.
Well,
Holding your basket of fish.
you look the part, but can you play the part?
I've been outside most of my life. I've chopped some wood in my days.
And that's all you do.
That's all I do.
You're a lumberjack. You chop wood. You sell wood. Just let me do the talking.
Sounds good to me.
He's the charismatic one.
Paula essentially ushers you guys into the city. You make your way through the city. Go ahead and give me. You guys are trying to stay out of the eye of the justice of the peace, etc. Go ahead and give me stealth checks with advantage, as this seeming spell is taking hold of you.
What's in that 20?
21.
What did you roll again?
Double?
Confirmed 20.
Such a good 20.
Nat 20 for a 27, and then a 21?
18 for a 21.
18 for a 21. Okay. No, you guys have zero issues. A couple of Justice of the Peace are starting to accost people in front of you, and you just stop and essentially like have the mime of rubbernecking on whatever it is that they're dealing with, and then just move on. None of them give you a second glance, and you guys slowly make your way to the South Gate, where we will pan back to our other adventurers. Standing on the precipice of this mountainous side, a knotted rope before you with a clearing in front of that, a waterfall gently making large sounds as it tumbles over the sides of these rocks. What are you guys doing?
I turn to the group and tell them, I just received a message to my brain from Paula ordering us to descend, head west, and look for a tree.
Oh man, I see one right there.
I communicated that we were intact, alive, and following said directions would probably want to rest, but then moving to that destination point.
Oh shit, you think it's that tree? Wait, there's
Which way is west from here?
That way.
Oh, that way. Is there a tree that's distinguishable from other trees that way?
Give me a perception check.
21.
21. Looking over in the westward direction, you see that most of the trees, though competing for sunlight, trying to rise up above each other with different fronds of branches spreading out, you do see that there is one particular tree nearby, within about a half mile, that the tops of its branches seem to have some strewn debris about it, though what that is, you're uncertain of.
I have a hunch it's that tree right there. Would you agree?
Cirrus, what do your wizard eyes see?
A tree.
Do the sun set in the west?
Tree, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
A tree, I see.
Alright man, let's go for it. And I grab the rope.
Kind of while this conversation is happening, I don't want to look back over the pool that we had just left and like up the waterfall and see if there's anything of significance
Perception check.
in that
Or,
general area.
I mean, arguably investigation as well, but I think perception check.
Could I investigate to see if that tree tracks with the general directions I was given?
Yes, give me an insight check. Go ahead and do the investigation check, Roscoe. I mean, fuck, Salner. Thalner. I need to get my life together.
Say my name.
Say my name. Thalner, what was your investigation check?
14.
14.
Okay.
You can see that there is a small cave-like sconce, kind of obfuscated from the waterfall flowing down. You don't see a way to climb up past the waterfall. You just see like what maybe is a cave behind said waterfall.
Is anyone interested in that cave behind the waterfall?
Excuse me, what?
The cave!
Oh, hell yeah, I put the rope down.
In the meantime, Salvo, what did you get?
You said insight?
Yes.
Can I investigate?
Thank you for not rolling that while I was talking.
So, to be fair, I also pointed in the direction that was west that you pointed me to, and
So
I said
you
it's
now
probably that
see
tree.
it. You're trying to discern whether or not this is the tree, hence the insight.
15.
15. From there, like Xeris kind of points over to this tree as you two are talking, and then Thalner begins talking with Roscoe about the cave behind the waterfall. You look over and you see that some of the debris that is strewn about these trees definitely are not natural. As if like someone or something had placed certain things hanging about the branches within these trees. As far as whether or not it is the designate tree, you're uncertain, but it seems sound.
I'm pretty confident.
It seems sound.
I'm pretty confident.
It seems sound.
And you turn around and you hear Thalner and Roscoe talking about.
Oh man, let's go check out this cave.
I mean,
It is getting late. I did say we would rest.
In a cave.
it is a safe place to rest, theoretically.
Better than the open.
Did she say when?
I told her that we would be resting. I did not have a when.
It's safe to say it would take some time.
Worst case scenario, they're gonna wait for us there.
Is this cave behind the waterfall?
It's behind.
Alright, so I'm gonna lock arms and skip towards it with you, if you will.
It'd be really
It's
hard to do. You're
gonna be-
essentially skipping on the edges of rocky crags that hold a basin of water.
I'm just gonna swim.
Okay.
Denies the arm
I'm
class.
gonna jump jovially from rock to rock towards the cave.
I would like
Go ahead.
to see if I can figure out why this rope is here. Investigate,
it's
if you
for
will.
climbing.
Sure.
Yeah, but someone put it
So let's start. Thalner, go ahead and give me. It's an athletics check. It's a low DC. You know how to swim, but you're essentially swimming against
The
current.
current,
right?
yeah.
But you
that's
do
fair.
have a
I'm gonna
tail,
pick a different
correct?
die. I do.
Is it
Alligators?
prehensile?
What?
Yes.
Can you use it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, then you're good.
Look, I'm holding. Never mind.
Holding her mini. His mini.
Holding that thought.
You said athletics,
Mm-hmm.
not acrobatics.
Athletics.
Why does everyone have a better acrobatics modifier?
What's your
It's
athletics?
almost as if we care about our
It's a
dexterity.
+1, so
Okay.
that's gonna be a 15.
And you're mad about a 15? No, you totally swim up that current.
DC was somewhere
Could've
between
been
5 and 8,
18.
I'm sure.
Could have been an 18.
DC was low, not that low, but it was pretty low. You do swim up against this current, and essentially you feel your scales sifting off the water from the waterfall, the impact kind of pressuring your head and like bobbing you up and down in the water. And you see vaguely through blurry, waterlogged eyes like a sconce, a literal cave-like structure. Roscoe, give me your acrobatics check to not go through the water and to go through the mountainside.
You get acrobatics.
14.
14. Okay, yeah, it easily enough. You do like kind of scrape the bottom of your feet a little bit, which is new to you. Like your feet are very calloused. This rock is abrasive, and as you scrape by, you're like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to like kind of wrap those up a little bit. They're not necessarily bleeding, but they do hurt from this
They're
interaction.
wet. That
And
makes sense.
as you hang off to the side, you get behind this waterfall. You see Thalner's head just kind of like bobbing in the water, and you look over, and there is a small sconce. And with your passive perception, Roscoe, you see what looks to be like a small camp, and then a trail that leads farther back into the mountain. Now, I'm going to move over to Xeris. You had prior been... Remind me, please.
I was trying to investigate like why this rope was here, if I can find out what
Checks.
maybe the intent of whoever had put this here.
Checks. Give me an investigation check.
17.
17. This rope seems well used. It seems like it's been here for a long time. And actually, not too far off, you see what resembles refuse by humanoid hands. Like there are scraps of food, a couple of pieces of cloth, packaging from some sort of
Rations.
Snack.
exactly, like rations. Like it looks like someone had been here recently, made this rope, descended down, and left it there.
I'm still with you. They ran off.
Yes.
Salvo, someone was here recently, and the only way to here seems to be from there, as I point back up to the hole we came out of.
Or from the way we're supposed to go. This could be a
It was tied off from
salvage
this
point.
side.
Think of this as the collection point of a lot of dropped down the toilet refuse.
Someone
There's a
else.
word for that.
Someone else other than Roscoe would have had the idea to jump down a toilet.
Or accidentally say dropped something of value down said toilet and thought, oh, where does this go? And went to obtain it.
I'm very curious, needless to say. Let's go with others.
As you say that, the two of you look past, and you see Thalner kind of bobbing underneath the waterfall, and then the wavering visage of a halfling kind of crawling around behind this waterfall.
Oh, some sort of secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
So Stack's standing right next to you and goes,
Secret tunnel.
"Why do they go down the secret tunnel?"
Shit stack.
Friends drink.
I know this.
That's why they go down secret tunnel.
I think I should follow Roscoe.
I think that's a good idea. I think we all should. Salvo, would you mind lending me a little bit of a hand again? I think I pulled a muscle in my
Certainly.
dominant arm.
Let me prepare my bag. I, this time now, prepared more thoroughly for a water encounter. It
I
does
can
have a
help.
waterproof lining.
I can help you.
Thank you.
Sak, you seem to sink.
Freudian.
Glad I'm not around to hear that, man.
I pressed the digitation to stink off. No, I'm just kidding. Stack, I appreciate your willingness to help, but I may drown if I tried to hold on to you.
Oh,
I don't breathe underwater like you two.
I see. Would you
Wait.
like to hang out with the rocks?
Behind the rock sounds like a better place. You're the rock that I typically like to hang out with.
Oh,
Aww.
I like to hang out with you too, Xeris.
Romantic music starts playing.
I propose a totem pole situation.
It's 20 feet deep. Yeah.
Stack's only like 3
About
feet.
15.
Exactly.
Almost.
Maybe if we hang out on the edge.
I can have a disc float right above your head.
Smart.
No, Salvo, you get on my shoulders, and then you hold Xeris. And then, before getting all the way into the deep of the water, I'll go along the edge and kind of crawl along the side. And that way, Xeris is out of the water.
Salvo. I'm sorry. Names today. Stack. I'm impressed. It's quite good deductive skills.
Well,
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
We do that.
You do that.
Can I give Stack inspiration?
Sure, yeah, Stack has inspiration. I'll put it where I do.
The drink
It's a
has been
D6.
helping him.
Okay, yeah. Kind of latching on to the back of Stack, like holding on to Xeris above the water.
Yep.
You guys, Roscoe and Thalnar, you kind of pull yourself up into this encampment, and you turn around and you see blurred through the waterfall a strange totemic conga line moving through the water, and
I imagine they just see Xeris' head.
Yeah,
and they're like,
exactly.
Where did Stack and Salvo go?
And I'm like trying to like stay balanced, like wading water with one arm.
What
Kind of.
the hell?
and they make their way through the waterfall, and you see Xeris pull himself out to the other side, just kind of standing in this small eddy pool.
Let me a hand here, Roscoe. Please.
You grab him, pull him up, and then as you see that, you see Salvo just slowly rising above the water.
And for style points, Salvo exhales water.
Nice.
And then see Stack.
Yeah, so shortly after that, you see Stack. I got my friends.
Stack, man, you're such a good friend. Thanks, man.
You're a good friend, too.
Fist bumps.
It hurts.
It always does, but I won't stop. Is it getting evening?
You guys actually are starting to see in front of you the suns, when they go down, line across the northern ridge of this mountain, and you're starting to see in front of you through the waterfall a dark, stark line enveloping the woods in front of you, and it is getting darker and darker.
I want to start a campfire at this camp. I'm assuming there's already like a campfire circle.
It's a cave.
Behind a waterfall.
You go over and you see that there
Still
is
says there's a camp.
a swath of cloth on the ground, kind of dug into where the ground was. Not much of a pillow, it's a bit of viney tendrils that were interlaced together, and then someone had put some torn cloth on top of it to rest their head. And then about 2 feet away from that, you see the burnt embers of a once fire.
It's a camp.
Okay.
Leading in a trail slightly off after that into the cave further down and twisting is a entrance into the side of this mountain.
So you can tell Roscoe is just stunned with excitement, but at the same time, he realizes we're all tired, his friends are hurt, we're all soaking wet. So I noticeably quell that a little bit, get a little more reserved, and start with making a fire for us all.
Okay, give me a survival check.
And his heart grew 2
Natural
sizes.
20!
His heart grew 2 sizes bigger.
Roscoe begins a fire and ties up a line of fishing line that he had in his backpack, hanging up some clothes. Not fully naked, but a little bit, and then offers anyone that wants to dry their clothes up onto that line. Being so near to the fire, you see that his clothes dry very quickly, and then he pulls them back down and puts them back on top of it. No, like very, very dry. Further, he creates like a couple of sticks that he finds on the side and starts spigoting a little bit of the dried meat that he had in his bag, offering slices of it to people. And from there, you guys are all essentially sitting within this cavern, a dull orange glow illuminating behind this waterfall.
And I've positioned myself to make sure I stare down wherever that cavern leads. I'm a little wary.
As you do that, and you're kind of like divvying out portions of food, Stack addresses you, Roscoe, and he goes, I see that you're looking at the entrance into the mountainside.
Yeah, man, it's exciting and a little creepy.
Would you like for me to go investigate?
Man, I don't want any one of us to go by ourselves, but I really appreciate it, Stack. Maybe we can go together later.
Well, I don't need to eat. I don't need to rest. I think it is a better designation to help my friends if I go.
You know what? If maybe Stack could go down there and wait. I'm sorry. Investigate the cavern.
Yes.
Okay, never mind. I was about to say something else.
I love Stack for a watching us aspect. Stack may not have the mental faculties to do a proper investigation.
Stack, he's got a good point. Why don't we all take a
Kinda
rest,
dumb, Stack.
and you stay right here, but keep an eye on it, and just let us know if anything comes out.
Plus, Stack, if you go down there and don't come back, we're not leaving without you.
Oh. So I would do better as a friend to stay here and watch?
Yeah, stay here and watch while we rest. But don't go down there. Just stay by the fire.
Are you familiar with the term sentry?
A stationary entity that observes its surroundings.
Yes. You are phenomenal as a sentry, which is what friends do.
Oh.
So your secondary designation could be sentry, but your primary designation is to be our friend.
My primary designation is in that bundle of cloth you have next to you, Xeris.
You accomplished that designation.
We need to bring that bundle of cloth with the orb inside of it back to the Izzet.
But Malachi wanted to pick this up, yes?
Back at the Izzet.
But Malachi wasn't at the Izzet.
He wasn't. But he had designated me to stay there with the object.
You completed that designation.
I did not. I entered the realms of completing the designation, but now we are here.
But you're still with the object.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need it back.
Century game.
Man, I've always thought the safest place for it to be is inside that rock chest.
But that's where the justice of the peace expected to be.
They already beat the shit out of him and didn't get it out before.
To be fair, the justice of the peace know nothing. If they knew that it was inside of me, they would have had it already.
It's a fair point.
I think Stack just threw some shade.
I know, I like woke stack.
Woke stack. Woke stack slaps. Do I feel like it would be safest inside Stack?
The first thing I will ask of you is an Arcana check.
Oh, can I do that too?
Yes.
22.
22 for Xeris.
That's gonna be hard to beat right there. Good old roll right there,
I
man.
know it's
28. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's a 23.
Okay. 23 and 22, very similar results. Different ways to look about it. One from the arcane, one from the knowledge of how the arcane affects the real material world. You guys both get the sense that... You folks both get the sense that for as long that he was harboring it and the behavior that he was exhibiting, it was not telltale to the experience that you had, Xeris, and to the knowledge that you have, Salvo. It seems incongruent, him harboring this item and his personality and his demeanor.
Incongruent in the sense of
So
no
is it
effect.
safer?
Exactly. No effect, yes.
Okay.
One might say immune.
One might say immune.
He seems like
A
he may
good-
be.
a good
I mean,
slot.
one might say immune to.
One might say. In fact,
Influence.
I would say immune.
I would say immune.
Man,
Now that I
Stack is
think
the
about it.
perfect receptacle.
Then why did he take it out? Why did you take it out? You went through a whole experience to take it out, and Malachi wasn't there.
Why does one interact with their own designation at all, yet to understand it and describe it to the people around them?
Okay,
Introspective
philosophy
stack. Yes.
You guys are just getting owned by this rock.
Does Stack,
Stack routine.
knowing the current evidence,
What'd you say?
Leon, you can have inspiration.
you're not there. Does Stack, knowing what you know now, Stack, do you not feel that the orb should be placed back into your receptacle?
I think chassis or bodice makes the most sense. However,
Chassis or bodice?
considering that Xeris had said that it tried to take control of him, and I have never felt that, it makes more sense that I contain it.
That's why I have it in this here
Loose bag.
There's cloth wrapped around your chest.
Blanket.
It's worked so far.
From what I know about this orb, which is something,
What? What do you know about this orb?
Something.
Quite a heavy something.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I am worrying about it.
I am not allowed to tell you.
Xeris, passive insight, you can tell that Salvo intentionally is holding.
I'm openly telling you.
Man,
I am not
speaking of this orb,
able to tell you about this orb.
I haven't ever seen it yet.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
you
looked
saw
at
it.
it.
like-
Everyone saw it.
You know, I glimpsed it as you passed it over.
Roscoe, this is not. This, I don't even want to.
Jack,
touch it.
somewhere you sneeze.
Well,
Is that the allergy to bullshit?
100%.
So
The illusion just goes.
I'm inclined to replace into Stack's receptacle.
all right.
yeah, I'm all for putting it back in the stack. I'll even, won't even look at it.
I'm okay with this as well, but we need to not let Stack do exactly what Stack
But
wanted
Stack,
to do.
you
of
can't. You
scouting.
always got to stay with the group, man. You can't be going off by yourself. If we
Okay.
Put this back in you.
I was only offering to help.
I appreciate it. I know you're trying to help, but you've got to stay with us.
I will keep this item to protect you, and I will stay with you
All right.
to protect you.
Thank you.
Stack,
If you see anything, wake us up.
Okay.
do you
How do I do that?
Just like shake, yell, don't punch us.
Okay.
I might do that to wake you
Well,
up.
friends don't hit friends.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, when you fist bump us, you don't shatter our knuckles.
It's training.
Also, I don't think you've even punched someone's spine in half. I turn to Stack. Stack,
Yes.
you remember Malachi, correct?
Grand Mason Malachi.
Yes.
He made me.
And gave you your designation, yes?
Yes.
He wanted you to go to the Izzet, yes?
Yes.
I am his.
Protege.
There you go. Protege.
So you're like his older brother then.
Yeah, I am of the Izzet. I show the symbol again. We took you to the Izzet. Do you recognize me as an extension of Malachi's authority?
You see him kind of like blink a little bit. Give me a persuasion check at advantage.
Ooh.
Like some deep logic, like
Listen here, little brother.
I'll take that. 18.
18. You are the protege of Malachi. And you are Izzet. Yes, I recognize you as essentially second to Malachi.
I will take that.
Roscoe just got outbid for.
That said,
Second to Malachi, not second friend.
now, what do we know about friends?
Friends drink and are quiet together.
Yeah.
And friends don't hit each other. And friends don't tip each other. And friends give each other jackets. And
20 minutes later.
he does go on.
Yes, all of that is accurate. I am second to Malachi. All of these people here are your friends.
Yes.
Please listen to them when they ask you to do something, including myself.
So-
You might even say, it's your designation.
My designation is listen to Malachi. Therefore, listen to Salvo. Therefore, listen to Salvo's friends. As if it were prior. Okay.
Accurate.
Control
Logic programming.
established.
Stack?
Sit.
no. Don't you talk to
You're not there! You're not there!
Talk to him like that.
You're not there!
Sorry, I don't know what came over me.
Do you yell
That was
that?
Brian. That wasn't.
Do you
Brian
yell
was like-
that?
Yeah, actually, Thalner does. Yeah. You're like, Stack, sit. Okay.
Downer. I look at Downer and I go, Downer.
Friends,
Point made!
friends ask friends to do
There was a
stuff.
question mark at the end. You don't know.
Sit?
Sit? Question mark?
Stack sit.
So we know now. Stack's cool. We're fine with
We
Stack.
only just now established Stack is cool.
Fucking stack was cool.
We're fine with Stack. Stack will
I'm a
listen
little
to
bit
us.
curious,
He's a
actually.
reliable.
Are you curious about the designation
Reassured.
pool?
Stack, jump 15 feet in the air.
He kind of stands up and hops like half an inch. I don't think I can do that. Were you not confused about the designation cool?
No, there was no designation, just a compliment.
Yes.
Oh,
Means we like you.
I see.
So, anyways, yes, let's.
I love that you're looking at me.
Do you
as
mind-
Stack.
Do you mind opening up your?
Receptacle.
Your chest hole.
Just peels back
bodice.
several. What you guys actually see is that
Open
there
your
is a formation of rock almost in a winding groove area. He peels back the larger boulder, and inside of it seems to be an empty slot-like space.
Almost as if he was made to hold this orb.
Almost like he has a hole inside of him.
I want to fill it with friendship.
I politely ask Azurite, I say, I'm going to use my largest tongs from my smith tools kit to handle this orb into Stack.
I will assist.
Actually, we could just ask Stack to put it in there, probably.
Yeah, that's
It's
a good
like-
point. That's a good point.
It's like
Stack,
operation.
Yes.
Yeah.
will you very carefully take this? I kind of untie that from my.
Did we
kinda
establish the
open it
size
up a
of this
little
orb, by the way? Like,
Yeah,
is it diameter?
10 inches in a diameter.
Okay, that's a hefty orb.
Picks it up. Okay. Just reaches in. You hear like a satisfying, like grinding sound. And then moves the rock back in front of him.
It's like a feature-made receptacle.
Yes.
I want for that
Well,
grinding sound.
Is it time for me to observe while you sleep?
don't put it
Yeah,
that way.
man.
I don't need to sleep. I was just going to, rest with my eyes open for a short while.
It's creepy as hell, man. I'm going to sleep.
I need to
Good night,
sleep.
Roscoe.
Good night.
Good night, Salvo.
I'll step
Roscoe
Also-
takes like an awkwardly long swig and then lays down.
He pets you all.
Can I have one?
Yeah, man.
You all in.
Salvo doesn't drink.
Drink.
Salvo, give me a
does drink.
Constitution saving throw.
Fuck it. All right.
You just took Roscoe to drink, man.
17.
It's spicy and gritty. It's from the flask. Like there is a fiery taste in the back of your throat, and you find it hard to like speak for a few moments after. But once you take a couple breaths in through your nose, you clear your throat, and you already feel buzzed.
Yeah, I turn to you with a very straight face. I go,
Yeah, man. You got that killed all the mosquitoes inside you. You're good now.
for a brief moment, you see like a what? Oh,
Oh,
just the what? Oh no, now right. And then I lay down. I bed down real hard. I have a sleepy Salvo
okay.
on my. Oof.
Short rest? Question mark?
Now I'm looking at my long like softest.
Short rest, indeed.
Short rest. No. I want I want a long rest.
Yeah, we can long rest.
Oh,
Are you guys long resting?
I was hoping to.
I would love to heal.
I'm sure we want to be quick about our rest in the intentions of meeting up with
Yes.
our
Can-
rescue party.
Can you go over
Couldn't have
how
put it
much
better
healing
myself,
we
family.
income, if any, in a short rest?
How a short rest works is per level character, you have an assigned hit dice. So as a monk, you should have 2d8. You may roll one of those dice, add your constitution modifier, and that is how much you heal when you spend a hit dice during a short rest.
I can only roll one, or I can roll.
You may roll as many as you would like.
But I only get that many hit dice
Until
until
a long
rest.
Yes.
Can I like roll one and then choose to roll the other?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Oh, that's max health.
Sweet.
Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I needed.
Okay.
Yeah, short rest is great.
Who else is short resting right now? Everybody? Everybody short resting? We'll quickly pan back to Leon and JJ. You guys make it to the outskirts of the southern gate, a large 40-foot tall buttress of wall impedes the southernmost advancement of the city. Closed doors with a portcullis actually slightly ajar in front of it. And you guys walk up, and long story short, you look like regular traders. 4 members of the Justice of the Peace that were hanging out on the eaves of the wall walk up and approach you two. All right, what you doing now? Leaving the city? It's late. Ain't you got a family to go home to, or a bed to sleep in while you're leaving?
I'm nocturnal. I chop my wood at night.
All right, and then you.
Well, we finished up trade for the day, and got to get ready for the next morning.
Right. You guys can make a collective persuasion check.
Deception?
Deception, yes. Deception check. Jack, you are at disadvantage.
It's communist bullshit. They won't
He's a
let you leave.
fisherman. Fishermen fish early.
Which could also be late. Is early, just really early.
The ruling stands.
If only he had said
Deception
that.
at disadvantage?
Yes.
That whistle didn't sound good.
12. 7.
7 for deception check.
I got an 11. But can I use my draconic, what was it?
Intuition.
Intuition to see if I did have to run to get away from them. I want to kind of weigh out the situation.
Okay. So, just for those watching, Leon, Taylor's character, has the background of gambler. We have not changed how gambler works. We are relabeling it as draconic intuition. And you wish to use this currently.
Correct. Yeah, so I'm able to get a sense of what kind of choice is likely the best one, and the DM is allowed to describe how much or how little that they want to. And I'm basically seeing what are my flight. Would it be smart to leave now, or continue asking their questions, basically?
Okay. And what did you get on your deception check?
I got an 11.
Okay. So as you guys bid your deception, and the guards kind of look you guys up and down, look at each other, your gut instinct tells you to remain quiet. And you hear some whispering back and forth. One of them stays there with you guys. The next 3 kind of move off and begin talking to each other. A few moments pass. The one that stays with you guys. Early morning fishing then.
Yeah, you got the right of it.
Chopping wood at night.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what time of day, right? Someone's got to watch the kids.
Kind of leans back a second. The 3 come back over. It's their death sentence. They want out for trade, let them. And you see that the one that was talking to you guys like kind of squints a little bit, backs up. Raise the gates! Enough for a passerby! And you see the portcullis raise up, the doors open up a little bit. South gate is open for you guys.
All
right. You two are on the outside, and per the extraction point that you were designated, you know it's going to take you about 2 hours walking to get there. What would Leon and JJ have to discuss during this time?
I mean, me as a character, I'm fully content with walking in silence. I'm just kind of happy to be outside of the city. I don't like being in the city. But, you know, during a 2-hour walk, I would probably
Sneeze
be
or
like,
something.
so, that orb you were talking about,
How about this weather?
what, can you tell me anything you know about it?
Well, where it came from is a long story, but... And then I retell to you the events of the Grand Spire. Basically, we retrieved it from the person that was protecting it, and our friend touched it, and I describe it to you. Is it orange? Or reddish? Green?
Green.
The whole orb and the dragon on top?
The orb itself seems a little bit of a translucent color. The dragon-like sculpture that wraps around it seems to be pale green in color.
Okay. So there was this crazy looking orb. Had a green dragon perched on it, and as soon as our friend touched it, tried to charm him, control him, something like that. But he managed to shake it off, but I ran for help as soon as I saw it, pretty much. Does that sound familiar to you?
I don't know much about the outside world, so I unfortunately can't help.
That's fine. I wasn't expecting anyone to know, really, but I just thought I'd try to see if it was any relation.
No. I've not dealt with much orbs in my time. I'm just a simple miner from a village a ways away from here.
I thought you were like mid-30s to mid-40s.
God damn
Sorry.
ER, not OR, sir.
It took me a second. It took me a second.
Well, what part of Levancia are you from then?
Doesn't matter.
Alright.
I'm not there anymore.
Passive insight, you can kind of tell that he's being reserved about it.
Fair
It's
enough.
not dissimilar to how you normally speak to people.
And I totally read that. Changing subjects then, I get. Struck a nerve. What did I want to ask you? I wanted to ask you about...
I kind of try and change the conversation and say, hey, have you ever played Dragon Chess before?
Yeah, I played all the time with old Rex at the Emporium shop, pawn shop thing.
Yeah, it's a game that we played a lot in my village, and you know, when we stop and find your group, if you want to play a game, just let me know, and then I kind of continue to walk and just try and cut off the conversation, basically.
Damn.
Jack's talking too much.
Jack's talking too much. Jeez.
Ask the question.
That's my line.
So, no.
All right.
All right.
So we'll leave that very socially awkward scene and pan back over to our friends here. You guys are all asleep, essentially.
I'm not sleeping.
They're just short rested. They don't have to sleep.
Okay. Were you taking a long rest or a short rest?
Apparently short.
Yeah, I spent 30 minutes meditating and 30 minutes just completely
I'll let them
passed
sleep.
out.
My full intent is to wake them up.
Perfect.
I was actually sleeping, thinking I was getting a long rest, but I'm going to be woken up early.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever.
During this short rest, as you guys are essentially just trying to get your bearings about you, Roscoe,
Yes.
you begin to meditate.
Which seems strange to the group. They're used to crazy Roscoe, so seeing him kind of take this calm meditative is almost off-putting, I would say.
You see the rhythmic breathing that unairs for many moments. That breathing begins to become more focused, centralized, almost inaudible. Roscoe, during this time, you find yourself feet glancing over a very smooth surface, blackened area in your mind moving all around you, almost like the sea. Your mind melds and rotates with the waves of the ocean around you. The sounds of water splashing and spraying. And you hear a faint Roscoe. Your eyes flutter open, and as you look around, you're on a boat. Sailing, sailing, sailing. There's no one on this boat except for you. Just sailing. Rocking. What do you do?
It seems real.
It seems very real.
My sailor instincts kick in. I'd start checking guidelines. I run up to the wheel. I check the compass. I start trying to take control of this ship.
Give me a survival check.
Seven.
Roscoe, you go up to some of the pulleys, and as you pull on the rope, it loosens up and goes taut as if someone had caught it and cut it. You run up towards the helm of the ship, and the wheel, as you touch it, disappears in your hands. You rush back down, and you get to the oars, and as you begin pushing the oars, you've noticed there's no resistance, and you pull them up, and the oars are missing. You rush back up to the deck, and you see from the top of the deck it begins to disintegrate, particle by particle by particle. What do you do?
Start to freak out. A little bit. I'm gonna scramble as fast as I can up into the crow's nest and try and see where I'm at. If the ship isn't controllable, I want to know. It's like, is the ship going down? Where am I gonna go? Where the fuck am I?
Okay. Give me a nature check.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
With a natural 20. You crawl up through the ropes of the crow's nest, and just before the mast center folded into the crow's nest disappears, you get to the top and you see far off into the distance a lush green island floating through the oceanic breeze. The rest of the crow's nest, then sequentially the mast begins to disappear, and you fall. And you fall. And you fall, and your back splash hits the water. And you're drowning, Roscoe. You've taken a deep breath.
No.
You're drowning.
No.
You're drowning,
No.
Roscoe. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
17.
17. You wake up, and you are on what seems to be a sandy beach.
Oh, God.
You rotate your head, warm sand underneath your neck, and you see that it seems to be a small island. This beach stretches in a small crescent, and behind you just verdant, lush jungle. You cough, more seawater spits up on your chest.
Is this island familiar to me at all?
You hear a faint echo as your subconscious asks yourself that. Let's go. This island seems familiar, but you don't know why.
There's some. I scramble up the beach up to the jungle.
as you clamber your way through the jungle, vines biting at your sides, tripping over a few branches that are interwoven into the ground. You get lost for a little while. You don't see a single living creature besides yourself on this island. Not one. No bird. No small mammal, no insect. And as you continue scrambling through this jungle, you make your way to what it looks like a small stone clearing. On the clearing, there are 3 weighted basins hanging loosely through the air. And in the center of that, a statue. As you approach the statue, you see thin, delicate markings ebbed into the face. Do you currently speak Draconic or know Draconic?
My character does. If he knows so, I'm not sure.
And as you approach, you see long names and titles. Romaloth, the Enduring. Tesseroth, the Storm. So many different names begin to pop up, writing all over this rock, even the ones that you had seen get lost in time. And you hear once more, Roscoe.
Yes. And I say so with a deepness and just a seriousness that I have not heard from myself in a long time.
I'm glad to see you're alive.
Me too.
Serious as God.
Roscoe, what I've taught you about wisdom, what I've taught you about the balance of life, it will soon come to a head. You have a destiny far above and beyond the adventure you seek. Your hand is needed to tip the scales in the favor of life.
So I feel somehow so out of place and strange, yet connected, and almost like a dream where you're at home, but it doesn't look like you're home, but it feels like it in the dream. And a peace washes over me that I have not felt since childhood.
And as you remember scurrying about the catacombs of Ironhold, you take one more deep, peaceful breath, and you wake up from your short rest to your allies encircling you.
Question. Oh, allies encircling. Okay, never mind.
Question answered.
Roscoe, did you know you snore?
What?
You looked a little out of it. Not like a normal sleep. I mean, you were sitting up.
Man, I feel kind of out of it. You see me kind of like going around touching stuff, kind of like trying to assess if I'm awake now.
And I was awake during this time. What did I notice Roscoe doing while he was in this meditative state?
There was at one point in time where Roscoe essentially was in his meditative state, coughing and sputtering,
So,
as if he was choking on water.
So I feel like I didn't want to interrupt, but I feel like if he was doing that, Xeris probably would have tried to wake him up. So did I do that and he didn't wake up, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I tried to wake you up, and did water come out?
No.
Okay. You seemed like you were drowning, and you must have been having a nightmare. But
Drowning would have definitely been a nightmare, man.
You were also acting. You've been acting a little different.
Do I remember all that just happened upon awaking?
You do remember the entire thing.
How, in Roscoe's mind, how familiar was it all? Was it?
This.
I'm not trying to ask this without.
You're asking about how familiar this situation is, correct?
Did it feel like a dream or a vision?
You know this to be. It's almost as if a memory amplified. This situation you've experienced before. It did not turn out. It did not unfold the same exact way as it did once it was, but it's almost as if a dream of the same moment relapsing.
But it almost reminds me of that time.
Mm-hmm. It's nearly identical.
I just need a minute here.
Well,
Please.
we need to go. I'm sure they'll be meeting us soon. Salvo, it's time to wake up. Salvo. We need to go. I'm sure we'll be met soon. I imagine you said Paul had sent you that message, which means JJ got there, and he
Downhill,
seems...
west, tree.
Yes. And now that I've had a little bit of time to recover, my arm feels fine again. Not fully fine. I'm fine. Oh, a little tight, but fine. And I think I could make sure we safely float down.
I too feel 2/3 fine.
That being said, there's still this cave.
I know. I wish we had time.
Well, we know how to get here. Just take the toilet.
Or
Maybe
Or
we
the
could
rope.
go into the cave and see what it is. Like Roscoe wants. He wants to go to the cave.
I like Stack's idea. We won't be coming back, and who knows what helpful secrets it could contain. And you hear kind of an air of sanity to Roscoe that none of you have quite experienced so far.
Sandy and Roscoe.
I'll go with you.
I'll go too.
I will go on that note.
I will stay with Stack.
Well,
We can all go
he's
together.
coming with us.
I'm going with them.
Yep. I won't stop that.
See Stack just start walking down the tunnel.
Stack, please.
Yes?
Stack, don't listen to Salvo.
Uh,
I'm trying out something.
I take out a torch. I light
I'm
a
sorry,
torch.
but that argues against my prime directive.
Your directive was to listen to Salvo and his friends, right?
Salvo is formative of Malachi. Friends are formative of Salvo. I listen to Salvo.
And Salvo told you to listen to his friends, right? Her friends, sorry.
Whatever her prime directive is. However, Roscoe wants to go down the tunnel.
I'm currently lighting one of my torches in the campfire.
You can listen to Salvo. I was just testing a loophole.
I'm glad I have Salvo's friend's permission to listen to Salvo as a friend. And he continues down.
Xeris, I just look at you and I go, logic argument.
Yes, I'm glad you respect the entertainment of that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yes.
I would like to test the limits of said argument.
Yes.
Obviously, they are to my satisfaction.
You
Yes.
just see Roscoe and Salvo and Thalner all moving down. into the-
Stack, middle of the group, please.
Okay.
We form a
A stack.
Yeah. Four corners, stack
even
in the
better.
middle, like a 5-sided
Stack. Maintain
on
a
the 5
median position.
Medium position, perfected.
Stack
Move
pad.
forward, move back, stay. Move forward, move forward, move forward.
always maintain. This is 4. Yes, always maintain 2 in front, 2 behind. So you're the third.
As you guys wind your way down
I
through
too
this,
light a torch as you did.
you guys light a torch, and as you move your way down through this tunnel, you see that there is no exit. It stops slightly before some pool of water that are essentially just dregs of spray from the waterfall collect stagnant. Down below, you see a small, for lack of a better term, box, rectangular in shape, worn, old wood, rotted between the cracks of it. There is a lock on it.
I immediately look at Roscoe and I'm like, yes.
And I go towards it.
You go towards said box and
With caution.
Oh, dude, I'm a pirate, man. I know how I can't even tell you how many booby traps I put on my chests.
He's in it for the booty.
okay. You walk over to the box. Yeah, you can see that like this is a russet brown, old, worn out wood. It looks like it was assembled here through pieces of wood that were collected within the area. However, there was a makeshift form of wooden lock with a small entwined vine-like piece kind of holding it together. It's not like a traditional key and lock, but it was held fast.
Before, Xeris, do you have any ability to, say, detect magic?
Yes.
Would you be willing to detect magic?
Of course. I detect magic.
Casting as a ritual.
Yes, but instantly so.
Is that level 3?
No, it's level 2.
Okay, so now you're using it instantly. Okay. You see where prior Xeris, when trying to set up detect magic, had a whole entire like ritual going. He essentially takes out the components and takes them in his hand and creates like a miniature version into his hand and snaps, and the ritual lights off and then disintegrates, and you can see that his eyes envelop with a white light. You see that the chest itself is not magical. The vines locking it up is not magical. On the inside, you see a vaguely cylindrical shape. You see what looks like identical pairs of flat material that have just cylinders popping up from it. You see a small blip of magical energy. And you also see like shaded, not quite magical within themselves, but like veiny tendrils almost coming off of them, like magical wisps, faint and latent.
Are these spell scrolls?
You're not certain.
Okay.
I'm now going to check it for non-magical traps.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
And while he's doing that, essentially with what I'm deriving, is there another check I can make, or is this like I'd have to see it, touch it?
One of them is giving you indications of conjuration magic. One of them is giving you whiffs of aberration magic. One of them, abjuration magic. One of them is giving you whiffs of transmutation magic. And then the small wisps, it's hard to discern, but it seems evocation in nature.
Okay.
Xeris, do you detect any magic?
Yes. Do those wisps seem like danger? Like would I surmise that this sounds to Spencer like it could be a trap that's set on that?
Sure. I will go ahead and say that Xeris, seeing this magic compared to the evocation he had detected in Stack, is significantly less.
Okay. It looks like there's a various amount of schools of magic within there. I'm thinking they could be spell scrolls, even.
Roscoe, what did you
I
get?
hope not.
What did you get on your...
14.
14? Okay. No, you don't detect any sort of trap. This looks like someone had essentially put their belongings into a rickshaw place and only latched it shut as for whatever their whimsy, as for it not to open. It doesn't seem well protected at that rate.
But please, before you open that, I would like to retreat to a...
That's fine.
One might call it 3/4 to full cover position.
Wherever you want to go, I'm about to open this box.
Please wait until I'm there.
I'm trying.
I'd also like to not risk Stack.
Dude, fine, he's alright.
It's kind of stacked.
Still has a very scary dragon.
Better hurry up, man, because I am...
But you do that. Anyone else like to come to cover?
I'm
Yeah,
kind
I'll
of
go to cover.
interested. I think I'll go with you, Roscoe.
I'll go to cover.
My man. I knew there was
Yeah,
something
there you go.
about you.
I'm curious
You mean
myself.
Stack, please come
Maybe
with
I
us.
should try those books you're all talking about.
Stack, please come with us. Roscoe, we will give you a signal when we are in the clear.
I'm going to give you a signal, which is 5, 4, 3, 2.
I would like to stay with Roscoe. And as Stack says that, Roscoe kind of slices the vines that are holding this box shut and opens it. Roscoe, you see a large pile of coin, a pair of boots, a pewter mug, and a small azurite gem.
Man, at least half the stuff in here is awesome.
At least half the stuff. That's funny.
No, it's all... My eyes are just...
And you hear a crunch, 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 and Stack's like looking over the chest with you.
Stack, we found treasure, man.
What is treasure?
It's like... It can be anything. It's just awesome stuff that you didn't have, and then you found it, and now it's ours.
Oh. And he
say-
reaches his hand
Oh, wait.
in, and he grabs like this piece of paper that was folded underneath.
No. Hold on.
the
Stack, wait.
gold.
Stack, wait.
You're around a corner.
No, I was
And-
with
He
Roscoe.
did-
Yeah, he went.
Yeah, I say Stack, wait.
And he
Freeze.
basically holds this piece of paper inside of it.
Please let me have that paper
Stack,
safely.
He really loves paper, man.
Oh. Let's go of it.
Slightly crumpled. I kind of get the crumples out. What is it?
It appears to be a letter that has a waxed seal on it.
And this had magic on it? Is this one of the things?
This was not one of the things
Okay.
that had magic on it.
Okay. Okay, this is a letter. I am interested, however, looking in, because I was there with Roscoe as well. I'm curious about the items that put off the magic energy.
They're still putting off that magic energy.
Yeah, I've seen this before, man. You should probably read the letter first.
I wanted the piece of paper.
I've seen booby-trapped pirate treasure. I've seen cursed pirate treasure. I've seen pirate treasure. You gotta read the read-me first. Like,
You know, this is a fair assessment. I may be getting a little bit too eager at the moment. What are the items
best
that you
friend got
described
killed by
that had the
pirate
magic
treasure.
energy?
Did
It
anyone
appears-
explode?
No, it's safe, Salvo. Come on down. You two down there. I'm assuming, were you hiding with Salvo? Yeah.
Okay, so all 4 of you, 5 of you, are surrounded around this chest.
I am behind Stack.
The evocation magic seems to be coming from the gem-like azurite. The abjuration magic seems to be coming from a soft pair of slippers that are very small, almost doll size. The conjuration magic seems to be coming from a pewter tankard. And the abjuration magic seems to be coming off of essentially like lacing in between all of these coins that are stacked up within this chest.
The transmutation, you said? Or abjuration was the slippers.
Abjuration, no. Yes, the slippers are abjuration.
Transmutation is...
The transmutation is the goblet. That is actually my fault.
Okay, no problem.
The pewter mug is the transmutation magic. So it's the abjuration, transmutation, evocation is the gem,
And conjuration.
the conjuration is the coins themselves. That's
Gotcha.
what I
Okay,
had
gotcha.
mistaken.
Man, the third mate on my second crew, he touched one of these and I didn't see that guy again. So, can you please read the letter, man?
Oh, gladly. I read the letter.
As Xeris breaks the waxen seal, you guys kind of look expectantly at him and look back down. Within the chest, those coins seem to give off a teal color, a tealish silvery sheen. Roscoe, you know this as platinum.
Oh God.
I'm reading the letter, and we won't touch anything. That's a great idea, Roscoe.
Xeris, you.
I really want to.
Those have conjuration magic on them, which means
I don't
they
know
could
what
have
that
been.
means, man.
It means it could be false. It could be fake.
As you open up this letter and you're saying that, the first thing that you see is to the family of Silkrest. Do you continue reading?
Yes.
It seems that the inevitable has been made reality.
I skipped down to the bottom real quick to see who this is from.
With love and respect, Wygraf Silkrest.
It's from Wygraf.
Thalner immediately you hear a crack in his neck. He looks so quickly. And he comes over trying to look up. Okay, thank you.
I hold it down. I hold it down towards Thalner.
I want to read.
Read. Sure.
To the family of
To the family of Silkrest, it seems the inevitable has been made reality. That's
Amara?
made reality of our worst fears. The prophet of the three seals has been made to be a reality, so much so that I have feigned my own death.
I just
He's
got
still
chills.
alive.
I'm mad. My dad. Okay, go on.
It is time for me to seek the Vault of the Ancients, where I could find the answers that belong to the creators of this universe. If anyone sees this, I believe it has either been the resolution of our great city's turmoil, or the archaeological dig of those ancestors long past. I will head myself deep into the desert to seek the vault of the ancients.
Freaking wizards.
And if I am to find the answer that weighs upon the scales, know that the moonlight goddess guides my path.
That's a clue. That's definitely a clue.
And he signs Wygraf Silkrest.
With love.
With love, Wygressa. And as you guys kind of like hold it, Thalner, you're very confused.
Gripping the paper tightly, I kind of release it.
Just like crunch up the corner, like. What?
And as you crunch up the corner, you see a couple wisps of ink on the edge of it.
Real quick, what did you say about the 3 seals?
Essentially, the weight of the 3 seals. The balance of the 3 seals is.
Weighs in the balance.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 seals.
There
have
are
been made
some
from
ink and lines that are strewed across the corner of this page. And as you kind of turn it around, you see that there is a strange drawn-on symbol. It looks like a left counterclockwise turning spiral that continues to change color as it goes.
Impressive. How did they draw that?
I investigate that.
Salvo, you see Thalner kind of turning over.
As soon as I saw the crinkle and the change, I'm like,
Okay. So she gets an intense look in her eyes. Salvo, give me an investigation check.
27.
This looks identical to the symbol that were on the masks of the assailants of the boat parade.
Is Wyroth a cultist?
Would I know this too, considering I fought both of those people?
You kind of turn it over, and you're thinking about a lot of things are going through your mind right now. And Salvo just kind of stops and puts her hand on yours, Thalner. And as you kind of look up at her, he looks back down, and she looks back down at you, and kind of gently taps that. And you look at it, and it looks very similar to the mask that you had seen on those creatures at the boat parade.
Shit, man, I don't know who this guy is, but does he talk about the coins?
Does it seem to be counting down or spiraling down to 0?
With a 27, you do see that in juxtaposition with the mask, though you don't remember the mask itself, it looks a little bit more in the actual number of spirals itself. The drawing looks more.
Rusko has the mask, right? You have a mask.
Yeah, he does. Actually, he does. Yeah.
The
Say it
spiral.
out loud.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're
Right,
thinking.
sorry. The spiral. The masks from the assailants.
Oh yeah, I got one of those. Oh shit! I put it on.
Yes. Can you look at this and see anything?
I have the mask on.
You have the mask on. It's really hot and stuffy. It's kind of hard to see out of. But as you're looking at Roscoe, there seems to be less amount of turns in the spiral on the mask than on the paper. I would actually say 11 points less. Essentially, from the center, if you were to draw a dot, and then you would draw a dot every single time you intersect with a line,
Sure.
the mask has 11 less points than the drawing on the scroll.
Can you see anything on the scroll through the mask?
Man, I can't barely see anything.
You look at it, and it's hard and stuffy. You don't see anything through the
This
scroll.
smells, man. Take it off.
I would like to use my efforts where I feel most useful in maybe identifying some of this stuff here. I specifically want to check out first the Azurite Stone.
Okay.
Do I feel like it would be safe to pick it up?
Order of operations here. You're looking at items. Are you using Arcana without touching it to try to figure out if it's safe to pick up the stone?
Yes.
Roll Arcana.
26.
The nature of it itself does not seem anywhere near what the dragon stone that Stack currently has inside of him. It seems safe to pick up.
Okay.
I
pick it up and begin a ritual cast Identify.
About the time that they go through this conversation, you ritually cast Identify. You can tell that this stone, this Azurite Stone, it has a sense of the cosmos to it. The magic seems to be made by the cosmos. When this stone is attuned to, it gives a +1 to intelligence, not to exceed 20.
Well, this is useless.
I see him pick something up, so now I'm gonna pick something up.
You pick up this like pewter tankard and just looks like a cup that you drink out of.
That's the one.
Yeah. It looks like just a cup that you drink out of. It's very fancy. It's got some elvish written letters scrolled upon it.
Does it have one of those sweet lids on it?
It does, actually.
Roscoe, would you like to know what that does?
Yeah.
I, too, could ritually cast Identify.
I also would like to move on to the next item.
I'm about to drink from it.
Is there anything
There's nothing in it. Salvo casts Identify.
For 10 minutes.
It takes you a little while. While Thauner is still like reading over this letter over and over and over again, you see that this flask is called the Tankard of Sobriety. If one were to imbibe alcohol out of this flask, they will not get drunk off of that.
You found one.
That could be useful, but oh man, yeah. No, I see it now.
No, the Immerclear would do from that. Safely breathe fire without getting it.
In fact, I'm
smushed.
very acutely aware of this.
So I'm gonna pour a little bit of my normal liquor in there and try and drink it. And like, do I still taste it? Does it still have the burn of liquor?
You still taste it, but that burn that races across your jawline into your temples does not exist.
All right.
The flavor is there.
Light bulb. In fact, you might say you cannot get drunk by drinking from it, despite what you put in it.
I mean, that's normally not what I'm going for, but I could see some uses.
If alcohol is a poison, does this mean we could... Never mind. Salvo, should we maybe work on identifying these last two items?
Man, I know what those coins
Coins or
look
slippers?
like.
I'll take the slippers.
I'll take the coins.
Man, I would take some of those coins.
Okay, Roscoe grabs some of those coins.
I touch them to identify them.
Okay. Identify is still active, I would allow, so the two of you literally don't have to recast the ritual.
Oh, awesome. Oh, like holding both at the same time?
Sure.
There we go.
The slippers essentially come off across as boots of springing and jumping, and which the boots of springing and jumping allow you to triple your height and vert for jumping distance.
Shit. Wow.
And then the coins come across as partially imbued with the blood of a black dragon.
Can you define imbued?
These are platinum coins that, when forged, had the blood of a black dragon pervaded throughout them.
I explain that rather unpleasantly.
Maybe we should exchange it for a change at the bank.
Do I know what that would entail?
Blood of the black dragon through platinum coins. Give me an Arcana check.
I'll take an Arcana check.
It's a high DC.
Okay. 19?
Okay. As to why or how You are uncertain. The only thing that makes sense to you is if these coins at once belonged to a black dragon.
Okay.
And while you are doing this, Stack kind of sidles up to Thalner. Did you find what you were looking for?
Not what we were looking for, no. But something more valuable.
How valuable?
I might have a way to free Tyro, my father. I might have a direction to go with what we're trying to uncover in the city, what's going on politically, what this cultist group is trying to do. There may be something that we can learn and glean from this.
Oh.
And like Thalner was standing right there during this entire interaction with all the treasure and did not give a single shit about what was going on. Like glanced up maybe once about something about draconic blood and ignored it.
Otherwise, it was like all about the letter.
I kind of like
Rereading it,
hit down on this
looking
shoulder,
at all the
like,
corners.
man, do you
front and
see
back.
all this stuff?
But objectively, how much platinum?
117 coins.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of money. Maybe I can afford a new book.
But if you found information about your designation, shouldn't we go there?
Yeah, man. Who like wrote all this stuff?
Wygraph.
Wygrass Silkgrass. The father,
yeah.
the person who was killed, the individual who was killed in my tea shop, whose murder my father was blamed for.
Oh shit, he's not dead.
He's not dead. He's in the desert.
And for Roscoe's credit, I don't know that Roscoe was there for the interaction where you found out about all that.
And do
In the Grand Square when we talked about it?
I guess the second time, not the first
Yeah,
time
the
when you came
second
back
time
and you're like,
w-
hey, so this
Roscoe
happened.
And I
is
didn't
not-
talk
I
about it the
wasn't.
first time.
I wasn't there because I
Roscoe
was
is
talking
not
to
good with
Stack.
names.
Yeah, that's fair. But this person might be who, like, this is how I'm gonna free my father. This is it.
Speaking of that, dragon blood coins, I don't think we should just spend.
Roscoe, monetary funds and accrual of financial status are second to designation. Thalner is having a problem, and I think that
Exactly.
we should help him.
Plus,
I definitely agree.
dragon blood coins.
What is a dragon?
Well, you'd have to look within to find the answer for that. I'm just kidding. You.
Do you know what a lizard is, Stack?
No.
Oh man.
It's. Do you see? It's kind of. I hold
It's a-
my tongue.
it's a
and I was
powerful-
about to make her.
It's a powerful being. Man, it's more.
So you know what kobolds are? Kobolds are not dragons. This is not a dragon.
Thalner is a kobold.
Correct, but dragons are kind of like kobolds, but not kobolds.
That's
I
a bad
keep
way
on
to put it,
like
man.
looking over to like make sure I'm not offending.
I still
it's like
fail
a
to see
big.
the urgency or the
Drag-
speciality.
They're bad.
Dude, Stack, dragons are the most powerful beings I can think of.
Oh, more powerful than the Immerclear.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Like imagine Immerclear could fly and shoot fire and or acid or like
Lightning,
ice or lightning,
just various forms
and
of
was
things
like
that
as
would.
big as a building
destroy.
and would like destroy and or help.
Does it do that to protect its friends?
Some there's good ones and there's bad ones.
Most people in town's designation is to make sure dragons don't get inside.
Oh,
I bite my tongue thinking about the fact that we're trying to get
A Stack.
potentially a dragon back
Not
inside
all
the
dragons
city.
are bad, but we
Not
gotta
a
be
dragon.
careful.
I
Gotta
mean,
be
do you say
really
that?
careful with dragons.
okay. Dragons could be friends, but mostly are not.
Thank you.
Just be careful.
Be careful around dragons.
It's not a dragon.
Thalner,
What is it?
where should we go
Not a
to
dragon.
find your designation?
Do I know of a desert in the near vicinity of Drakehaven.
Give me a history check.
And while we're at it, I do also still want to know if I know anything like the 3 seals. Would that strike a chord with me at all, or? Stupid.
Well, considering
not
we were
struck.
talking about desert, let's start with there.
That's a 5, so
Okay.
no.
Yeah, you're unfamiliar of a desert within the area. Go ahead and give me
different.
a roll for a history check for the 3 seals.
Seals check.
Orf, orf.
I was about to.
The inspiration.
There we go.
Gotten a lot of that.
Don't know geography that well, but I might know history. That's a 21.
21. The best memory that you have about a story pertaining to the 3 seals. One night, there was an open mic night at Steep in the Cups. And Cynthia Silcrest composed a ballad of the 3 seals. I call it a ballad because the original started somber and sad. The entire song took a swing. The original part of the song was talking about metals and how they work together. The second part of the song took a swing and we're talking about how the colors across the vast universes intertwine together and can create destruction in its wake. And the final part of the song is a lilting, somber dirge, talking about gemstones and how no matter the adversity that crusts across their existence, they still endure in strength and potency. So, in layman's terms, these 3 seals, the memory strikes a chord with a ballad by a bard, and how they were all different from each other, though they're all interconnected.
Do you share this, Falmer?
No.
Okay.
Only Falner knows.
As
I don't take notes if I don't know it.
as you guys are
Same.
talking and kind of deliberating about this, Jack and Leon, you guys have been traversing through the woods that are at the base of this mountainside for a while. You've been given a general direction on where to go to, but no definitive answer. The only thing that you the only directive that you actually take hold is about halfway through your journey. You get a message, Jack, from Paula, and she says, to be more specific, please look for a young man named Leeson and his entourage, Arquillo.
Can I check for animals in my area?
Sure. What are you doing here?
What would that be?
So that'd be a nature check. I thought you were using something specific, but yes, that'd be a nature
Well,
check.
I have a. There is something I have. I'm trying to remember. Let's see here.
Animals in your area. You knew it.
Single.
Because I have, as a path of the totem bear, don't I have an animal detection or?
It should be within your features.
There's an animal in our area.
Yeah, my dog just keeps freaking out.
I don't see it. I might not have got it yet because of my level. Is that a thing?
Absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably okay. Then.
It'd be under features or traits.
Yeah, I'm on that now.
Then
Okay.
no, you don't have it yet.
So then at that rate, I would just roll a nature check.
Okay. We'll do that. 13.
Okay. There's a lot of avian activity here. There's a lot of birds perching in trees all around. a lot of small mammals kind of flitting to and fro, squirrels climbing up trees. What exactly are you looking for when seeking animals?
I was either looking for something that I could convince to mount, to allow us to mount to speed our travel.
Sure.
And or telepathically try and get a sense of direction from or to ask for scouts, basically, from the birds.
Okay. You don't actually find anything that would be a good, suitable riding mount, but upon talking to a thrush that's just kind of hammering on into the side of a tree, what are you asking? What are you saying?
Have you seen a group of people? Can you assist me in finding a group of people? And then I give a description of salvo, the salvo that I know, hoping that it's the same salvo.
Nobody fit in the description here. Nope.
Any campfires?
No campfire. Not that I remember. No. What else you looking for? I'll try to help you.
Just a waterfall.
Oh, you mean the waterfall right on the side of the mountain towards the east here, right?
Yeah, could you lead me there? I'll got some breadcrumbs in my bag.
Oh, sure thing. I'll do just about anything for a breadcrumb.
Sounds good. And I
Sure.
go in my sack and just flick a breadcrumb into the air.
Swap,
Does
bites it out
JJ
of the
here
air.
understand any of this?
No, this is all
Love it.
telepathic.
Yeah.
Love it.
This is all telepathic.
Okay.
JJ, you see Leon kind of stop and kind of gesturing his hands, like some weird chirping sounds coming out of his or coming out of his mouth, but it's like under his breath, like he's not actually communicating that way. It's like his brain, like his lips are kind of mimicking what his brain is doing.
When you're singing along to a song on the radio.
Exactly. And this thrush just kind of rises up out of the tree, and he flicks some bread in the air, and it kind of slurps it up, and then kind of flits over to another side of a branch over to the east, and goes, and then keeps continuing flying that way.
I look at JJ and I go, and I just kind of point towards him.
Okay. Sure.
I'll telepathically say to him, "There's a lot you can do with the mind."
What? Okay.
You don't see his lips moving when he says that.
I'm so confused. She said look for who?
What's that now?
Paula said look for someone in their gang.
Yeah, she said look for Leeson, Leeson, and Arquillo. Arquillo.
Arquillo. Okay.
Arquillo. Arquillo.
And as we've been getting further and further away from the city and the paling, I'm just getting more antsy and frustrated. It's like, well, how long am I supposed to be on this damn road?
There's no road. You guys are literally roughing it right now.
Yeah, down this down way, I ain't seen nothing. I'm venting my frustrations about on Paula, basically, because we're getting into some uncomfortable territory very soon.
So many trees.
I spawn my weapon and start using it as my walking stick.
You see materializing out of his hand, out of nowhere, a over 6 foot tall, heavy war pick looking thing with a emerald green shaft that spikes down in front of it and a hammer side below it. Just starts carving through the roughage in front.
No, that's not the craziest thing I've seen today, so, neat. Sure. You're just full of surprises.
Neat, sure. I love it.
As you guys continue walking, following the thrush along its way, you guys see a about 60 foot tall tree. I only differentiate that size because it is slightly 10-ish feet taller than all the trees around it. From this angle, you see what appears to be wooden slats that are kind of tied together within the boughs of the trees. And almost at a point, Jack, you see a clothesline with things hanging off of it. And as you get closer, you hear sorry, let me do that again. And you kind of look up and you see a shadow kind of hanging around one of the trees. It's starting to get extremely dark out here. Very faint light coming off the sides of the mountains. And... Oi! What you doing here then? Are you the two that Paul sent?
Maybe. Who are you?
Is their disguise still up?
There's their disguise? Yes.
Oh, it's kind of weird that I spawned my weapon then.
Considering the circumstances outside the walls, I'd like for you to say who you are first.
One letter at a time.
One letter at a time?
I only got 2 of them.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'll give you both.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
You can call me Jage.
That's a nat 20. So
What?
Confirm?
with the
All right.
0 modifier.
All right. I'm L.
J.
E?
J.
Oh, shut you all the way up, Right, well, come on. He goes, right, well, you must be the ones that sent. Come on, Aquilo. And he taps the tree. And as he does, you see the tree strapping itself out of the ground, stand up, and turns around. And in front of it, you see what appears to be face-like. No eyes. Like, there's eye sockets where maybe eye sockets would be about what a chest rate would have. And no teeth, but what kind of looks like bark folding over itself and a smile. Yeah. And it turns around and goes... And up from the tree, now facing you, much higher from before. All right, well, I'll lean down the ladder. You two come on up then. He like moves over and a rope and ladder unfurls from one of the tree branches.
Arquillo. Least, all right. Big guy.
All right. And I start heading up the ladder.
No hesitation from the barbarian. Just starts heading up the ladder.
I kind of like touch the tree. I'm like so impressed by this.
You walk up, and as you touch the tree, it kind of moves slightly, and you look up, and you see that the face is like looking down on you, and it's like slightly shifting the point that you touched it away.
I don't have my.
He don't like being touched right there.
Okay.
That's why he digs his feet in the ground. Come on up.
I climb up the ladder.
You climb up this ladder, and quite literally, you are in a tree house inside of a tree and standing about 40 foot over the canopy.
Nice.
And greeting you is a small, about 5.5 foot half elf man. Deep red curls about his head, freckles, bright green eyes, dirt smudged all across his face, just leathers kind of bound together. Just at any point you see him, he's got a hand on a tree branch and leaning away from it. And he says, welcome then. You must be JJ, and you must be Leon. The two of you are trying to go find your friends then, yes?
Yeah. Take it you're Leeson?
Yeah, Lason's my name, Arquillo's my game. And you
Shake
just
his
hear, as you shake his hand, you hear...
Hi, Arquillo.
I say, nice to meet you in Elvish to him, just to try and be more friendly.
You say, nice to meet you in Elvish, and in response, you hear Leeson say, ah, I'm out of the tongue. And then you hear Arquillo, ah, good to meet a fellow nature man.
I speak a little bit of a lot of things. So, yeah, nice to meet you guys.
I see that you are heading towards the waterfall to the east.
It's where our friends were last reported.
Well, let's hope that your friends are not in the worst of dangers. And Leeson kind of pipes up. Yeah, I kind of owe, well, some favors, but, let's call this one and done, eh? Yeah? Sound good? He's speaking common this time.
I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know. That's none of my business, but...
Righto then, and he kind of like slings himself about the branches, and you go ahead and both give me a dexterity saving throw. Because you are a barbarian and you can see this, it is at advantage. Taylor.
Good, because that was terrible.
You know, when they said the tree, I
14.
didn't really know what I was expecting. Oh. That's a 21. Yeah.
Okay. The two of you kind of waver a little bit. Jack, you kind of like brace yourself. You take a thin strip of leather from your belt and just kind of like tie it on and hold on to that and just kind of wave out a little bit. Leon, you at this point were kind of leaning over a branch and talking to this face etched into the side of this large tree, and as he stood up and shifted, you weren't quite ready for it, so you fall back, kind of laying on your ass, and stand back up and grab 2 branches above you, and you guys begin walking towards the east. Actually, it does not take long. You guys very quickly begin to see a waterfall to the east of you. And after a few moments, you guys are essentially perched right above this ridge-like area with a waterfall cascading in front of it. For the rest of you, you guys all hear outside of the cave that you're in.
Let's
Take
check.
the items and go.
Yes. Let's
Yeah,
check that.
scoop up the dragon coins.
Okay.
in this-
And the tankard and the doll.
yeah, I've already got the
and
tank.
the-
Y'all are taking everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Downer's still wrapped up in this letter and looking again.
And you can take that letter.
Looking again at the back of it, the spiral. What colors are in the spiral?
Black, red, blue, green, and white. Similarly to the masks that you have seen.
Downer suddenly gets like really erratic, like moving quickly, like rolls up the scroll real fast, stuffs it, like seeing you guys kind of start taking stuff and making moves to take those things with you, stuffs that into his clothes and like into his jacket and like looks around, like not even registering like other living creatures or the material possessions in the room, and just like looks at the opening and just power walks, like booking it at the opening where that we came down through.
I propose to the group, Thalner, take the letter.
It
Roscoe,
appears
take
that he already did.
Roscoe, take the tankard, and we can divide the rest of the items at a later date.
Yeah, man, just I'm telling
There
you,
he
man,
goes.
we probably shouldn't spend the dragon blood coins yet.
I'd
We
like
can
to
talk
go
about
with Thalner.
And I head off with.
Yeah.
Median position,
Oh,
Also, I say
2 in front, 2 behind.
okay.
don't mention anything about what we found here until we
And
can
there
talk.
goes Roscoe.
Until we can talk about it in private.
Agreed.
Stack confirmed.
He's way in front of you, following Roscoe. Confirmed.
Okay. Yeah. And then we go out there.
We can gather up the items and divide later.
Okay. You guys all gather up, kind of skirting around the outside of this waterfall as to not get super wet, and you guys literally see the face of a creature almost carved into a tree with one arm resting upon the side where the rope was. And then in like swaying in the leaves of the trees in this dead of night, it's eerie. The pink shattered moon in the sky cascading light past its leaves, and into the pool of this water, you guys hear out loud, "Oi, you on the rescue then?" And then standing
I'm caught
right
up to
next to
Downer,
them,
and I kind of elbow him and be like, man, do you see that too, or did I go too far?
I see a tree.
Oh, you know what? A tree. Didn't Salva say we were supposed to go to a tree?
That's
I
the
didn't
same
say anything about a face, man. Tell me you see a face.
I see a face.
Oh, thank God.
And Leon and JJ, you now see what appears to be like shadows of people huddling in behind this waterfall.
That's the tree.
Hey!
Y'all hear
Do I
what
recognize
sounds
JJ
like
voice?
JJ.
Okay.
Jay,
I cautiously look outside.
You cautiously look outside, and obfuscated from the side of this waterfall, the visage of a very large, imposing figure standing next to what seems like a slightly older figure, and kind of
Still
like
very
waving
built.
its hand.
Still strong.
And he calls out again.
Hey!
yeah, JJ, who the hell is that? You need some help?
How far away are we from them right now?
300 feet away.
If you were to, like, run and jump,
Already.
it would be like a 60-foot drop.
I've got us covered. I would like to say, on my command, jump. Trust me. Trust me.
Last
Trust
time I did that, I was flushed.
You won't make it if you don't.
I
There's a
jumped.
tree branch in the
I know
water.
the feather fall spell. We'll be fine. I rested enough to be able to cast it. Jump. I cast it,
Yeah, I
and
don't
I
even-
and I
I'm
jump.
already in the air.
I jump and
It is elevated above you.
they're 60 feet up
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
tree.
This tree is very tall.
It's big.
Trust me.
Yeah, I'm like, but hand is
Alright.
here, tree.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
So I sprint full speed and acrobatics my way up next to JJ. Not quite sure if who he's with is friend or, coercion foe or something.
Okay, you begin easily enough. You begin acrobaticsing your way up the side of this creature, and after a while, you start to notice that an unfurled rope ladder appears beside you, and you hear, "I just used the ladder."
I ignore the ladder.
All right, then. Give me an acrobatics check.
While he's acrobaticsing, I learn that to JJ. I'm like, if you're really JJ, what message did Paula send me?
I look at the giant tree that I'm on in the direction that we came from. I'm like, the tree, due west.
Tracks.
Yeah.
Starts climbing the
Yeah, go on.
17.
17. Yeah. So by the time you actually hear any sort of argument from Leeson, you've landed right next to him, and he's like, "All right, good show then. All right, why don't you help your friends get up? I'm gonna go up to my quarters. Starting to get wigged out by y'all."
My
So-
friends are all right. I am.
So as Salvo,
Fuck.
You
done?
see Roscoe first, and then Salvo.
so as and Salvo's currently climbing the ladder, correct? Right when I know that I can telepathically communicate to Salvo, I connect with Salvo and I say, "Salvo, this is Leon. I know that I look different from when we last saw each other. Don't say anything. I will explain to you personally. But it is great to see you."
Do I need to roll history, or do I know this?
As you begin climbing up and you hear all of this in your head and you look up, you see a hand outstretching to you that has claws coming off of it. And as you trace the arm up and look into the eyes, this looks exactly like Leon, but there are some very significant differences to him.
You see me look up, and can I communicate in my mind?
Yep.
And I say, understood.
And you grab onto his hand.
Don't be scared. He's all right.
slap her on the shoulder. Good to see you. And I say that out loud. Good to see you.
Yeah. You as well.
I find a branch that puts me at eye level with this tall bastard, and I'm just like, who the hell are you?
I telepathically go, calm down, little man.
That freaks me out even more and angers me at the same time.
At this point, Thalner, you're climbing up to the insides of this of the tree ant, and Roscoe just about is about to swing on Leon.
Oh, never mind.
Xeris is right behind you on the
No,
ladder.
I wait for Stack to go up first.
Okay.
Okay, before I climb up the tree, I wanted to look and see how the tree was walking up to us.
Okay. You kind of look over the edge. It has literal bipedal legs that are almost split in the center, and it looked like it was walking on those legs with twining, branching roots that would grip the ground as it stepped forward. And it's just kind of standing at the edge of this mountainside.
It's just standing, and then there's a rope for us to climb.
Yep.
I move my finger like, you bend down to me and pick me up.
Give me a what are you speaking right now?
Nothing.
Common?
I look
No,
at this,
gesture.
nothing, a
Just
gesture.
gesturing.
I look at this tree and I say, come to me with my finger.
Give me a
little-
persuasion check
Persuasion.
at disadvantage
disadvantage.
because it doesn't understand what's happening.
Oh, it doesn't speak
Is
common
that a
finger.
Gucci goo?
I would
Is
almost
it a-
argue that's almost intimidation.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that
Almost.
intimidation?
Can it be intimidation?
Sure. At intimidation and disadvantage.
Made a tree.
Like, no, bitch,
Size
bring your
com-
arm down here.
Size comparison.
No, exactly.
3'2", I believe 70 feet. Okay.
That's not very nice. Alright, well.
It's got 2 legs.
23.33 repeating, of course,
17.
times the size.
At
You
disadvantage.
just hear a creaking, just like this.
Oh, sorry, 18.
18. Same result. You hear this groaning, creaking sound as the face of this creature gets closer to you on the mountainside and kind of like leans what non-existent ears it has.
It's a whole.
And it's very close to you. You guys actually are kind of like hanging like, like hanging off the side of this tree as like it approaches headwise towards Thalner.
Is there anything like within reach?
Yeah, there's some vines, there's some mossy exteriors on the edge of the bark that you can try to climb up. But essentially, yes, without a roll, you could climb up.
Yeah. Now that it's within, I'm not climbing up a rope. I'm gonna get on it
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
just
rope
kind of,
ladder.
It was a ladder.
there was a rope ladder.
It has legs. I can just kneel down and pick us up.
That's essentially what Thalner had.
I mean, you can walk back.
JJ says as Thalner kind of scrambles up to the top.
And then, like, just not registering anything, plops down and pulls back up the ladder. Flips it over to the spiral side and just,
You're up?
like,
You're up?
stares at it.
Oh my god, all 6 of us are together.
I'm out.
So Stack tries to begin to climb the ladder
All 7, right?
and breaks 2 rungs, and then Thalner like coaxes the treant to like lean over, which brings like the ladder like a little bit shorter, like maybe 8 feet until it climbs. Stack got a natural 20.
Let's go.
Stack got a natural 20. he kind of, instead of like using the wood parts of the ropes, he just grabs onto the ropes themselves.
Nice.
And just, instead of using his legs, let them dangle and just pulls himself up one by one. And then he grabs onto the bark and then grabs the other bark and then just, it just kind of rolls. I made it up the tree.
Good job, Stag.
Cirrus.
I climb up.
Okay, and Cirrus climbs up. You do have to hop, skip, and jump over a couple of the broken ladder rungs, but you do make it to the top. And you guys are all within this treehouse-esque canopy. Slowly, Arquillo begins to turn around and head back towards the west. All right. The 7 of you then. I'll get you safe to the city, and then I don't owe nothing to pulling the mow. That sounds fantastic. Don't it, Arquillo?
So, are you... You said that Salvo had recognized Leon. Obviously, Xeris doesn't know that, but does that mean that they dropped their appearance now? Or back to normal?
At this rate, with the length of time, yes, it would have been gone.
Probably only lasted like an hour anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a
Seeming
2-hour
that's
walk.
why
from
I-
the
Seeming
city.
but I
lasts
thought it-
8 hours,
Oh.
and it does have a range,
Oh.
and it was less than the spell could have been, but it originated in the Grand Spire. And after a certain distance, it would have faded.
I'm sure outside of the freaking paling, it's probably like.
So you were saying, as Roscoe is about to throw hands on this tall motherfucker, he turns into a...
He was already...
No,
He
no.
already
You
determined that.
you
Like when
already
they
would
left
have
the
seen
city.
him for who he was.
Okay, still freaked out.
But as you're about to throw hands, the whole tree started moving.
In the opposite direction.
And then Roscoe, I say, don't worry, he is a friend.
I sit down and go into my large sack and pull out. Nothing, Spencer?
What are you pulling out?
I pull out a dragon chest set and I gesture to Clint and telepathically go, you look like a gambling man.
Oh man, I am, but that
Immediate
ain't my
change.
game.
It's a fairly simple game if you know the mechanics.
So is drinking. I'll challenge you to that.
I kind of chuckle and smirk and say, I'll have a drink with you, but I'm not going to drink an absurd amount, but...
Friends are drinking and quiet.
This is the first time you meet Stack.
I pull out
Beyond
some
this
small
is Stack,
cups,
by the way.
hook them up. I pour out drinks to everyone from my pony keg and
Nice.
my do-si do.
Thank you very much, Roscoe. I'm gonna press the digitation.
You can just do it to the whole fucking cask, man.
Would you like it?
I mean, I definitely bought the cheap shit.
Okay.
Now I got like single malt.
Begin passing out drinks. Are you
Roscoe
playing?
left or black?
Are you playing Dragon Chess with Leon?
Does Roscoe know how to play dragon chess
Give me a
from
history
his
check.
time on the ships? Because if
Yeah,
he
this is
doesn't-
definitely a history check. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely a history check.
4.
Chess is hard to play at sea.
That's fair.
Makes sense. All the pieces.
You know what it is, but you have not played it before.
I'm a smart enough gambling man. I ain't gonna gamble on games I don't know.
That's
True,
okay. I just like to play this game with people to kind of get to know them. So,
I'll play with you.
is that Stack
Yeah.
saying that?
Yeah.
Sure. Do you know how to play?
No.
All right. Well, I guess I can describe it to you, but I'm not
Okay.
sure how much time we'll have after that, depending on our journey. So,
Let us begin. How do you start?
so then I describe. I'm assuming newbie here. Assuming Dragon Chess is just a different version of.
Let's just call it
standard
chess. Yeah.
Yeah, so I go by explaining how each piece moves, and then basically it's turn after turn, and then I explain the objective, which is to pin the Dragon Master into submission.
Oh, I do know this game.
I think I know this game too. You guys get about halfway through a match. While they're playing, what are you guys discussing?
Just a quick question. Did you show me Dragon Chess? I know you showed
Yeah, I
me
was
3
gonna
Dragon
say-
Ante.
Yeah, I was gonna recommend you try playing some.
Gotcha.
He would have shown you Dragon Chess.
Do I already know Dragon Chess?
Yes, you do.
I think.
Yeah. Thalner, you also know it. The only Roscoe, you know what it is. You haven't played it before because it like playing chess on a ship.
I don't have much interest in it. If anything, I want to talk to the tree.
Okay. So real quick, as they begin playing chess, what are you guys doing?
I probably want to ask Leon a couple questions.
And I'm updating JJ on the cave items.
Okay. Thalner, what are you doing?
Oh, and the status of the orb.
Right.
Gotcha.
As clandestine as possible out of earshot of Leeson and the
Gotcha.
tree.
Okay. Thalner, what are you doing?
Internally panicking.
Cool. Just anxiety.
Just like almost looking around like that out of body experience of like this is all not normal but too normal for what's coming. For what's about to happen.
Thalner. Give me a charisma saving throw, please.
Okay.
Also, seeing Thalner like this, I'll probably wind up actually going up to Thalner.
Damn. 10. No, 12.
12. As you guys are busy talking, conversing, conveying, hiding some communications from certain individuals, with a passive perception of everyone except for Leon, you guys notice a strange flickering coming from Thalner as if their visage was changing rapidly. And that's where we're going to end our session. And to be more specific, you guys are looking at Thalner, and it seems like their red scale hue is rapidly flickering to multiple colors.
Okay, not like in and out of visibility, just color change.
Changing.
Yep. Just
Define
changing.
multiple colors. What multiple colors?
Did you say they're in order?
Black, red,
That's
blue,
where we
green,
will
and white.
pick up- That's where we will pick up next time.
It's changing very fast.
Extremely fast, like strobically fast. So, I hope everybody had fun.
Yes.
I wish
So
I
much
could.
intrigue.
Yeah, I wish I could continue from here, but alas, it is getting late. There's a lot going on here, a lot to unpack.
Lot to unstack.
You guys don't look like you want to stop playing.
It's a good. It's exciting for next session.
I'm good for a couple more hours.
We gotta leave them wanting
A
more.
week feels like a long time, but
Yeah, right. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching Scales of Fate. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, hit that bell. I did the thing.
Yeah, check out the Discord. We love your comments live. Don't forget you can leave comments on the video itself because these ones don't really save.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Comment live.
so,
comment
yeah.
live, comment not live.
We love to read what you say,
We
definitely.
really do.
yeah,
Even if we don't respond, we see it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
I did it.
Love you guys.
Thanks,
and we'll
Kurt.
see y'all next week.